Begin the agenda here real shortly, but I'd like to ask for a 30-second moment of silence for some of our tragic political activities that have happened with some people that have had humongous acts of violence. So just a 30-second pause, please. Thank you all. Welcome to the Oroville City Council chambers. Just a quick safety message to talk about. As you all came in that door, you know the door entrance and the exit. If you need to use the restroom, it's right down the hall. And then, of course, we have another exit over here. If we have to leave the building for some reason, like an earthquake or something like that, we're going to make our police chief will be the last person out to make sure the whole building's empty. And we would ask you to move into the city parking lot on the other side of the building. All right, next item is announcement from closed session. Mr. Ritchie, would you help us?
In closed session, there was one direction given to staff to redact investigation report that was received from MRG. We will do the redaction, and then council has directed that we would then waive privilege in the report and allow it to be released. That'll take a couple of days, so we just wanted to report that that direction was given. Other than that, there was no reportable action from closed session, and direction was given to staff on the other issues. Thank you.
And that report would be available upon request?
Upon request, yes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to ask Councilman Janet Goodson to lead us, please.
Oh, there's no children. Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is adoption of agenda. Do you have any? Go ahead.
So move.
Second.
Call the roll, please. There it goes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Next item is a presentation from HomeServe USA for Utility Service Line Protection Program. Do we have a
moment?
Is there a PowerPoint or something?
Yes, we do have somebody online to present this. They will be sharing their screen. They're just rejoining Zoom right now as a panelist so that they can have permissions to do so.
Okay.
Hi, Bill. Are you there?
Yes, can you hear me okay now?
Yes, we can hear you. Do you
Ah,
want?
terrific.
Do you want to share your screen for the presentation?
Sure.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and do that.
Just for you in the audience, we actually have a screen here that we're looking at the screen, so we're not just looking at you.
Oh, very good.
Welcome, Bill.
Thank you so much. Is that appearing now?
Yes.
Great. Honorable Mayor and Council, I'm Bill Coffey with HomeServe. Thank you so much for the opportunity to discuss HomeServe and the program that we can provide to your community and to your residents. Very much appreciated to working with Elisa and Elizabeth and having the opportunity. So I know that I'm limited to around 10 minutes, so I will definitely keep this brief and available for questions throughout or at the end. So a little bit about HomeServe. We come to the city first with this program. It's the National League of Cities Service Line Warranty Program. It's an optional program for residents and it's off bill. The program is designed to help residents with aging infrastructure and trying to deal with an emergency water or sewer lateral line emergency and take care of it, getting it repaired or replaced. A little bit about HomeServe. Again, we come to the city first with the program, see if you want to participate. if there's interest with council to move forward, we welcome that. HomeServe, we've been in business for a little over 20 years, and the NLC program started in 2010. Our first partner in California was San Diego in 2012, and we've now grown to over 1,300 municipal and utility partners and 5 million customers in North America. So again, this gives you an opportunity to run our company and learn more about the programs that we do offer. Infrastructure is getting older. The lateral lines are subject to elements like tree root penetration, which we cover. It's the number one thing that we do cover. Also, we cover ground shifting and corrosion. We don't cover an act of nature like an earthquake or tsunami. But the biggest thing is that homeowners often think, oh, the city is responsible for my water and sewer lateral lines, and you would never go on their property to touch them or do anything with them, or they think that their homeowner policy will cover them, and often that's not the case. So that's where we come in to provide this optional program and see if there's interest. Again, some benefits for the city, timely repairs if a resident chooses to enroll, repairs will be done quickly. We'll get back to them same day with that they have the emergency, and then work with the city, pull any of the right permits we need to do the work, et cetera, and ensure that it's done right the first time. It's a turnkey program. There is no cost to the city. We look after all the billing, the claims, the marketing, and the customer service. Also vetting local area contractors that will do the work to keep all the revenue within the city. And for your residents, the benefits are that it's optional to enroll. It's low cost, under $10 per month average for water and sewer line coverage. And this program helps educate residents about their service line responsibility. Oftentimes, they don't know that they're responsible for these lines just because they are out of sight and out of mind. The program has 3 products. We have a water line product, which covers from the water meter to the exterior wall of the home. Sewer line coverage, which is from the sewer main on the street to the exterior wall of the home, and in-home plumbing coverage, which covers the lines inside the house, including under the slab and the lines going to a sink or a toilet. And you can choose one product or all 3. So it's optional for residents, and again, it's off bill. Here's the coverage and the pricing. So for water line coverage, it is $6.49 per month. It provides $8,500 of coverage per incident, no limit as far as annual claims or lifetime claims. So they could have 1 claim in a month, they could have 5, a dozen in a year. Each time the contract rolls up, there's $8,500 in place to take care of that repair. And water line coverage is $6.49 per month. Sewer line coverage, same $8,500 of coverage. It's $11.49 per month. It covers replacing or repairing a broken, cracked, or clogged exterior line. The third product is in-home plumbing, $3,000 of coverage. It would cover anything inside the house, including under the slab, as I mentioned, and that is $16.49 per month. And again, they can choose 1, 2, or all 3 products, and they can cancel any of them at any time. In California, once they choose to enroll, once we process the billing, the program and the coverage is in place immediately after we process it. There used to be a 30-day wait, but it's been enhanced, and this is insurance in the state of California. So with the Department of Insurance, we now offer it so that it's available right away. When there's a problem, your residents will call us, not the city, so it will reduce calls to the city. And, excuse me, and it's, again, optional to enroll. We're going to have local-based contractors. There are no lifetime limits or annual. There's also no deductibles, forms, or paperwork. So when there's a problem, if somebody had a $1,000 water bill because of a leak, they still may call the city to get it checked out, but they'd also call us to have the repair done if they enrolled in the program. And any work that's done has a 1-year guarantee that goes with it. We only market via direct mail, so we're not going to be making any phone calls. We're not going to be knocking on any doors or sending any emails. It's just simply up to 3 letters per year. typically it's a water line letter, a sewer line letter, and a combo offering. So we're not inundating your residents with mail that they don't want. And nothing is mailed without your approval first. So the city would know exactly what's on the letter and when it's going to hit the mailbox. And it clearly states on the letter that the program is offered by HomeServe, not the city, and that it's voluntary for the homeowner if they choose to enroll. If they do choose, they can mail the letter back to us, we pay for the stamp, or they can go online to enroll, or they can enroll over the phone. And the only way to make this program available to residents is if the city council decides that they do want to approve the program and move forward. Otherwise, we would not offer the program to your residents. So we come to the city once again first so that you can have a chance to vet our company and determine if it's a program you want to move forward with. Some of our California participants, we have 34 of them. As I mentioned, San Diego was our first one in the state 13 years ago. And we also have city of Daly City, Antioch, Yuba City, Vallejo, Stockton, San Jose Water, and a number of water districts up in Northern California. So again, there's many partners in the area and in the state, and 1,300 of them across the U.S. Any questions? There is a 5-page agreement that we sent and shared with Alyssa and Elizabeth. It does require the use of the city logo so that when we mail the envelope, your residents know that you are participating in the program. We're not just some company that decided to send something out. That would create a lot of extra calls to you, Mr. Mayor, and to the council and to city staff, and they wouldn't know anything about our company. So we do it this way to help to align everything ahead of time and go from there. So I'll open it up to questions. Any questions?
I actually have a question over at Public Works, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the city of Oroville is kind of unique that if your sewer lateral from your home your responsibility goes beyond your property line, you actually are required to fix the lateral to the main in the middle of the street. Is that correct? So it's a little different.
Correct.
The other sewer entities in the city, your responsibility ends at your property line. So that, I know it's
okay.
been an issue that's occurred a couple of times, very expensive, because you got to dig into the street and whatnot. So that's an issue to be looked at, just a thought pattern. Any other questions? Council
And
questions?
so, you know, that is our standard coverage. I could be incorrect there. I'll have to look at the agreement, but I think when we worked with Alyssa and Elizabeth, that we did incorporate it to what your city coverage is, not the standard coverage.
Thank you, sir.
So we can make it to the property line as well.
Appreciate that. Do we have any public cards on this?
We have no cards on this item, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Oh, well, yeah. Kind of. Okay.
Give the cost, but it's 3 policies. And $110 a month, he said.
Right, we have a question about the policy cost. And I guess you're looking at, is it all paid together, or is it one group
It's
fund?
3 each month, it
Right.
added up, it was like $34 cents, but
Could you clarify that for us?
Sure. The pricing is for each of the 3 products. And again, a resident can choose 1, 2, or all 3. Often residents want the water and sewer lateral line coverage, not the in-home plumbing, because their homeowner policy will take care of most of those in-home issues, but almost never do they cover the outside lines.
All right, thank you, sir.
Sure.
Any other?
I apologize, I didn't have the camera on. I just realized
Yeah,
that a moment ago.
Go ahead, Councilman Johnstone's in the
I
queue.
believe you had.
in the beginning, but I added up those 34 a month, so
Did you hear the question, sir?
Bill, did,
I heard the 34 a month part. I didn't hear the part before that.
he had mentioned that initially he heard you say something about there being $110 a month versus the $35 with the 3 policies. Can you confirm that that is what he heard initially in your presentation?
I apologize. If I said 100 a month, I'm not sure why I would have said that. The pricing is for those three products, so it is just those.
Thank you.
So if somebody chose the water line and sewer lateral coverage, it would be $17.98 per month.
Gotcha. All right, Councilman Goodson.
Yes, just a quick question. Most folks, when they, they come out, there's a service call fee. What are your service call fees?
We don't have any service call fees, so we completely don't believe in service calls, fees, deductibles, forms, or paperwork. Just simply one phone call to us takes care of it, no deductibles. So if somebody chose the in-home plumbing coverage and they had a clogged toilet, we go out, we take care of that repair, roll on to the next job. Again, no forms or paperwork for your resident.
And just another question, do you have local licensed technicians? Or do they commute from other
Yes.
areas?
If council approves the program, we will then go out and vet local contractors. So we will fully vet them to make sure that they will do great work. And we start with ones right there in your city. It's ones we can find on our own. Sometimes cities want us to work off of a list of who's already approved to work in the city, but rest assured, whatever contractors we pick will follow all the rules of the city, including pulling the right permits for any jobs.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sure, my pleasure. Thank you.
City Administrator Ring, let's speak.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to propose this as an option. If there is an interest of the council to look deeper into this, we can certainly look into the agreement, look into the requirements of the city, because I know the presenter mentioned with city approval. Again, I just want to make sure it doesn't put the city at risk for any of these services that are being offered. So if there is a desire to go forward, we can dig into the agreement and take a look at it and just do our full vetting.
Well, Bill, thank you, sir. It's something new I've never seen before, and we appreciate your presentation. Okay,
Great. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Have a good evening.
all right. Next item up is, apparently we've got some new officers for a swearing-in ceremony.
You know, Mr. Mayor, do we have them all here yet, Chief?
We do
They're
not.
walking
They're
in
coming
right
in
now.
now.
We
Here
might.
they come.
Stepping in from training, so might have been just in time.
Perfect timing. Chief, it's all to you.
I guess we'll be ready to go. I think we're going to start with Ms. Espinoza. Noemi, you want to start off? Are you ready? This is Ms. Espinoza. She has been selected to be one of our newest dispatchers. We were very fortunate to
We need
maneuver some positions and acquire two fantastic candidates. And Noemi is the first one that made the cut, and she's currently in training. And we love having her. She's absolute wonderful to have up there and very intelligent, super sweet. So glad to have you on board.
Thank you so much.
You ready to do this?
I am.
There's the door. They're blocking it. So-
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, please raise your right hand. I, Noemi Espinoza,
I, Noemi Espinoza,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and I will well and faithfully discharge
and I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter
the duties upon which I'm about to enter
for the City of Oroville Police Department.
for the City of Oroville Police Department.
Very good. Won't you sign here? Kelly, you want one grip and grim? Oh, you got this?
Yeah.
We'll do this instead.
There you go.
It's upside down. There we go.
That's why I keep her around. She keeps me straight.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Congratulations.
Do we, okay, we can switch. All right. Next, we have Mr. Sotelo. Ryan is a lateral officer that comes to us from Glenn County. And one of the important things for the city and the police department is to get high-quality laterals. Takes a lot to train people up, and so when we have people willing to come over and step into the role and take this on, we really appreciate it. And Ryan, I had the good fortune of teaching in the academy, and I actually remember thinking back in the day, is like, someday I would really want to work with this guy. And lo and behold, we now have him in our city. So we're very blessed to have him here. You ready for this? Sometimes I really feel like reading like 2 lines at once just to see how long they can keep up. But we won't do that. All right, raise your hand, please. That's not you. I, Ryan Sotelo,
I, Ryan Sotelo,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter
the duties upon which I'm about to enter
for the City of Oroville Police Department.
for the City of Oroville Police Department.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Brian, I think the council would like to shake your hand and thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, we have Ramnik Dwar. So these are extra special. I mean, I love Ryan. I love the guys that come in lateral, but when we look to the future, we look to the next generation. And Ramnik here is one of our special future, what I believe, officers, because I think that's her pathway. She's proven to be just an absolute asset in the municipal law enforcement category, which is our non-sworn, but she has truly shown that she is something remarkable. And so we're really excited about her future. And so we're going to go ahead and swear you in if you're good with that. Yeah. All right. Raise your hand. I, Ramnik Dwar, do solemnly affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter for the City of Oroville Police Department. All right, it's all over now. Do you have somebody that you would like to place that gold shield on you? Your mom. Can mom come on up? Please do the honors, ma'am. If you push really hard, it's good to go.
All right.
And I'll be happy
Ready?
to thank you for supporting your daughter.
However, council would like to
Oh, shit.
welcome. Welcome. Honey. Thank you very much.
I hope everybody got popcorn at the beginning because we'll be here a while. We're making up for a lot of lost ground here. All right, Mr. Jarvis. I always find it interesting when we have candidates and I get police chiefs from other areas and telling me if you don't hire him, we're taking him in immediately. So, and this was Mr. Jarvis was one of those. I had several police chiefs and high-ranking officers saying, we're going to take him, you better act fast. So naturally, we're going to do just that. So again, Stephen is one of our municipal law enforcement officers. As with many, this is a beginning stage before they start their sworn career. And so he wants to gain as much experience as he can, and we're going to launch him in that path. So you ready?
Yes, sir.
I, Stephen Jarvis,
I, Stephen Jarvis,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter
the duties upon which I am about to enter
for the City of Oroville Police
for
Department.
the City of Oroville Police Department.
All right, congratulations. And I believe we have some family for Mr. Jarvis. Who do we have? Come on up, family. It truly is a family event because in this job, you take things home, you work shifts. So family is a huge part of this, and it's a big part of the support system that we have. By all means, stab away. Right there, yeah. It's kind of a tricky thing, so. Sometimes if you just want to drop it in there and we'll fix it. Okay. All right, and we want to get some photos in
Get some
here.
photos. There you go. Steve?
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Ms. Valencia. So Evelyn started with us as an intern. And as she worked around the office, she got to be very well known and respected. And so when it came time to open up another MLE position, she jumped at the chance. And of course, we jumped at the chance to get her on board. So with that, are you ready? Yes. All right. Raise your right hand, please. I do solemnly affirm, I, Evelyn Valencia, do solemnly affirm
I, Evelyn Valencia, solemnly affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and I will wear and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter
the duties which I am upon to enter
for the City of Oroville Police Department.
for the City of Oroville Police Department.
There we go. Oh,
Welcome, Quincy, I think.
sorry, we got one more thing. Go ahead and shake her. But we have a pinning to do.
Oh, yeah.
See, got to watch me like a hawk. I will screw this up every time. All right, who do we have? You have somebody to pin you?
Yes, I do.
And who do we have coming up?
This is my best friend and someone who's always been there for me, Jalen.
All right, thank you, Jalen. Two more, I promise. All right, Mr. Peterson.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're ready to go there. So this is Jordan Peterson, another one that came from Glenn County. So what we have here is we have a trickle effect. First is we bring over Lieutenant Johnson from Glenn County, and he's so well respected by his peers that he's got two other guys that want to come and work for him. So that tells you something about the character that Lieutenant Travis is and the quality of people he brings over. So for that, again, I'm very grateful. And again, Jordan, I had an opportunity to teach in the academy. Another fantastic individual. I'm just so excited to have him on board. So. I, Jordan Peterson,
I, Jordan Peterson,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely
without mental reservation
without mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter
the duties upon I'm about to enter
for the City of Oroville Police Department.
for the City of Oroville Police Department.
All right. And we have someone to place that gold shield. Who do we have?
Fiance?
All right, fiance, all right. I was just going to add that he is, for the most part, a local boy from Oroville. So he already knows the area, knows a lot of the people. So he's coming home.
Yeah. Get your pictures. Okay. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
We have Mr. Barker. And if you feel like we've been here before, yes, we did recently swear in another Barker. That would have been his sister as a detective. So we're going to make it a family event. John comes to us by way of the sheriff's office, by the way of Chico Police. So another officer that comes with a tremendous amount of experience. We brought him over as a sergeant because the expertise and the experience that he has is something we need to be training up the next generation of officers. And he's filled that role tremendously, bringing a lot of insight and outside experiences home to us. So we greatly appreciate John coming on board, and he runs a tight ship. So it's good to have. Although as a Navy guy, it's really getting out of balance bringing these Marines on board. So any Navy guys out there, Army, Air Force, whatever, we need to balance the power. solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter
the duties upon which I'm about to enter
for the City of Oroville Police Department.
for the City of Oroville Police Department.
We have some family here.
Come on.
Everyone's like,
Looks like mom.
Mary said she'd volunteer if you can.
William, do you want a picture?
John, can I get your signature right there, please? And then shake some hands.
John.
All right, we have one more. I lied. I said we had only 2 more to go, but it's not a swearing. We also have one promotion. So Detective Herrera, D. Herrera, would you step up? So, as all things that happen, when you do good work, you're going to get promoted. It's a fatal flaw in the system. So, Detective D. Herrera has been promoted to sergeant. And so although we do not do a swearing in, we would like to have a changing of the guard, so to speak, as far as the badges. So I believe you have some family members that will be here.
Cool.
Okay.
There you go.
No, that's not gonna go well. Did she do that? One-handed? She's good.
It's nice to have so many hands to help that process.
Wow. Good
All right,
job.
congratulations, Sarge. Take your hand, buddy.
Yeah.
Well deserved, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you all for the patience. I think I'm all done now.
Well done, man.
well done.
Oh.
Wow. I don't, we're wrong, Justin.
Our ranks are growing, it's just
Yeah.
And as until we create new ones, wink, wink.
All right, excellent. Well done. Thank you, Chief, and welcome to all the folks, new officers. I think it's been 10 years since we had those positions filled, or thereabout.
It's longer,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
Well done.
Good job, Chief, good job.
We got a good team, Foreman.
Yeah, that's very cool. We had a public hearing supposed to start at 5 o'clock, so we've got to go ahead and move that to the public hearing for 5 o'clock. Let me get to the agenda. So at this point, I'll open the public hearing. It's item number 14 on the agenda, the appeal of the July 24th, 2025 decision of the Oroville Planning Commission to deny a conditional use permit, UP 25-11 for an Aegis Treatment Center outpatient medical services facility at 1121 Orodam Boulevard East, APN number 035-260-011. Wes, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. The project before you is an applicant's appeal of a use permit denial by the Planning Commission on July 24th. The applicant's reasons for the project, not the denial but the project, are that Aegis operates a similar clinic in Chico, and about 90 of its patients are from the Oroville and Yuba City areas. These patients must make an often daily trip up to Chico for the clinical treatment. Logistically, therefore, it makes sense for them to open a clinic here. The proposed project is at the former FKO retail building at 1121 Orodam Boulevard. This will just be the Google map showing where it is. The plan is to convert half of a 5,500 square foot building into medical offices and leave the other half vacant. You can see the building there just below Highway 162, next to the big drainage ditch, and it's across from the Food Max Shopping Center. The site is large itself, 68,000 square feet, and has plenty of parking for patients and staff. There are no real planning issues associated with this project. Operations are primarily 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. 7 days per week with 15 to 20 employees and strong security with cameras, alarms, and staff training. No other security staffing is anticipated. The Planning Commission has no issue with the service itself. The Commission agrees on this clinic's value to our citizens and to our community. The Planning Commission has denied the application on a single basis, its location, and whether it would be a safety concern located as it is along busy State Route 162. The concerns are about the speed and quantity of traffic on 162 and whether there will be problems of the clientele entering and exiting the facility and pedestrians walking to the clinic on foot. The denial is without prejudice, and the applicant is being encouraged to find an alternative location and resubmit. The Planning Commission's resolution denying the use permit documents the Commission's reasons for the denial. That's on page 187 of your package. That has all the reasons. The two alternate council resolutions are on pages 189 and 190 of your packet. One, if the council approves the appeal in favor of the applicant. The other, if the council denies the appeal. There has been lots of correspondence about this project, including some new letters. The applicant is here. I remind the council that the Oroville Municipal Code gives the applicant up to 20 minutes to present their case, and 10 more minutes for rebuttal if desired. The applicant's appeal is on page 140 of your packet, and I know there's a lot of people here that might want to testify, and I would urge everyone to concentrate on the one issue in front of the commission, which is the location, as opposed to the need for the facility. Thank you.
Council questions at all before we begin? No? The applicant ready to present? Welcome.
Alrighty, I'm not as tall. I'm Rebecca Mitchell. I go by Becca. I know I've joined the last 2 meetings online. Mom duty called. My youngest broke his ankle. So sorry I was not able to be in attendance, but that's all sorted now, so I was able to be here. We did want to go over a couple of things with you. I don't know if there's a way just to plug in the computer, or if not, I can just go over the items. No? Okay. We'll just go over them. That's fine. So I know we've talked about how the location being the main issue. If this was our first location, second location, which we've already moved per the city recommendations, it would be one thing. But this is our 3rd location. We do not have unlimited funds. We already have over $100,000 in these 3 locations that we've already been through. So again, if this was the first time, the second time we were asked to move, we did move. And so here we are with the 3rd location. But a little bit about, in the last couple meetings, I know there was definitely some misinformation. So I wanted to clarify those items to make sure we're all on the same page. So starting with our treatment services. So I know a lot of community members have called us like the methadone clinic and things like that. We have more than just methadone. We offer methadone, we offer buprenorphine, we have Narcan, and in some of our locations we have Vivitrol and Sublocade. I know there has been some comments in regards to the methadone and diversion being in pill form. We actually offer our methadone in liquid form only. We don't have the pill form. Our buprenorphine is sublingual tablets. I also have Dr. Waring with me, who's one of our providers, and I know there were some questions about impairments and things like that, so I wanted him to definitely address those questions that you guys had from an actual medical provider. We do medical assessments. We run the cures, which is the Department of Justice, to make sure that our patients are not on 10 different benzodiazepines or getting other opiate medications or other treatment services. We have medical consultations. We do coordination of medical care and crisis intervention. We have lab tests, urine toxicology. And that's only one side of our treatment. The other side is we do have counseling services. And with our counseling, we have clinical assessments, individual counseling, group counseling. We have peer support groups services. And I do have pictures if you want to see, but our urine samples is a different panel. We test for heroin, amphetamines, benzodiazepines, butabitol, cocaine, codeine, fentanyl, hydrocodone, hydromorphone, methadone, methadone metabolite, methamphetamine, morphine, oxycodone, pentobarbital, phenobarbital, and secobarbital. So these are all required by the state of California and the federal government that we monitor these drug screens. Let's see. One of the things that we are also for our counseling side, we have what we call harm reduction. So I know that there has been some comments about our success rates, and we don't measure our success rates off of whether somebody enters treatment and then leaves treatment immediately. That's not how we measure our success rates. Because there are some patients that they will have to be on this medication for their entire life. It's kind of similar to if somebody were diabetic and they would have to be placed on insulin. That's something they have to live with. So it really is individualized treatment based off of what that patient needs, what medication they will need, and then how long they expect to be in treatment. Some patients, they can graduate in 30 days, no problem whatsoever. We have a patient who had multiple open heart surgeries below the age of 30, and this is one of those things where Stanford is coordinating with us and telling us you cannot get her off this medication. They have to. So it really is individualized care. One of the items as well, so our hours, I know was mentioned as 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is a medication unit, so we always start our medication units at 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. So it would not be the full 8 hours. There are 5 hours. And that is Monday through Saturday. We are looking at this location to be closed on Sundays with approval. We have to get state and DEA approval in order to do that. One of the other items that I did want to bring up as well is that we've already definitely, being in Butte County, we have what's called the State Opioid Response Grant. We are a preferred provider in the state. And with that, we have grant dollars that we have spent in Butte County for outreach. So we've done outreach throughout the county in the jails, with law enforcement, hospitals, managed care, community providers. We have a patient navigator who's out and about in the community who, anybody in the community can call him, and we are always willing to partner and help any of the other community providers that we have. The other item too, I know that there was some concerns about heavy traffic or large gatherings. Clients, our patients come in individually for quick medication pickups, which usually only take literally a minute. They get checked in, they're in and out. If they are admitting, then that does take longer, but our admits we usually do maybe 1 to 3 a day at our medication units. So it's not a large crowd that are coming in for admissions. And then we try and spread out our visits in the morning so that, again, there's not long lines forming, there's not large crowds gathering. But we pretty much operate like a small pharmacy where it's low impact. Yes, we're located on the main highway. Traffic will be absorbed. However, by an area already designed for higher flow without affecting the neighborhoods. We have indoor waiting areas and staff on site to make sure that the property is well maintained and there is no loitering. And then one of the other items too that got brought up last time was the map of the police reports and police calls for our location in Chico. We met with the police department of Chico to find out, okay, where are these maps coming from? Because we had no records of the 26 calls anywhere in our form. And anytime we do call 911 or we call law enforcement, we have an incident reporting system that we do have to track all of these items. And so we dug deeper and we did find that in the last year, there were 11 calls that were made from us to law enforcement. And I do have the breakdown if you do want to see that. Majority of them, more than, I would say probably 4 of them were because of alarm systems going off in the middle of the night. There was somebody that was caught on video trying to break a window. There was another person that had taken off a screen, things like that. There was an incident of a patient coming in with a gash on her head and was actively bleeding, so we did have to call 911 for that. And then we had one person that was refusing to leave the building, and that was a resident from the residential treatment program next door. So we also spoke with the chief of police, and I do have a copy of his letter that I can share with you guys, but he is writing in support of Aegis. I'm writing in regard to the proposed opening of a second location for Aegis in your jurisdiction. As chief of police for the city of Chico, where Aegis has operated for some time, I want to share my department's experience. Since its establishment in our community, Aegis Clinic has not posed a burden to our police department. We have not seen a notable increase in calls for service or criminal activity related to its operations. On the contrary, our experience has been that the clinic operates responsibly, playing its role in supporting public health and safety. As a chief of police, I support having resources that help people fight substance abuse and move them to recovery. And this again is from the chief of police, Billy Aldridge, and I do have copies of that letter if you would like to have one. I will pass this off to Dr. Waring, where he can cover more of the medical items.
Does this move? Good evening, council members, community members. My name is Dr. Waring, and I am the Regional Medical Director for Aegis Treatment Centers. I have driven many tens of thousands of miles seeing thousands of patients at our locations spanning from Eureka down to Merced. I am pleased to be here advocating for my patients. I am happy to answer questions, debunk myths, and clarify the efficacy of medications for opioid use disorder, specifically using methadone, which is tightly controlled at the state and federal levels. Here's a map of our patients who have enrolled in our specific program, either at Chico or at Marysville. This dense cluster of dots in Oroville are real, actual human beings, your neighbors. But because no methadone is dispensed at any facility in the Oroville area, your neighbors are forced to travel to Chico or Marysville every single day to receive their dose under the supervision of our nurse. Imagine if you yourselves had to drive to Chico daily to get your doctor-ordered medication. This need is already happening in your community. My patients already live here. The barrier of having to travel is a leading cause of dropout from treatment, and the results are much worse for patients winging it on their own with no medication. This unique medication has a long-lasting stabilizing effect for patients' symptoms of cravings and withdrawals, so that they're not out searching for illegal drugs on the street. The counseling and social services we provide help patients find jobs, find housing, and prevents crime. It's almost like a country western song played in reverse. People get their car back, their job back, their apartment back, get their kids back, they stay out of jail. People reclaim their lives. I've seen it, watched it firsthand. These medication units are typically open from the early morning until midday or perhaps late afternoon, depending on the location, and then they're closed. It's not a residential program. It's not a place to loiter around. It seems that some community members are concerned that our clinic would have a line out the door and down the block or off the property. This is not the case in reality. Patients come indoors to the lobby, complete their tasks, get their dose, and then depart. For thousands of patients across the North State, this only takes minutes. We are also able to perform new intakes for new patients at these units without them needing to drive all the way to Chico. The parking lot there is big enough. It's splendid that there's a bus stop right there. It's meaningless that a Big Five sporting goods store is across the street. The Stream Charter School is separated by over half a mile by restaurants, automotive shops for mufflers, wheels and tires, gas stations, a liquor store, and even a factory of ammunition reloading equipment for making bullets. In our efforts to expand more locations across the North State, we're accustomed to pushback and the not in my backyard attitudes. Sometimes this takes the shape of, well, treatment is good, but I just don't want to look at it. Can't we place them out of sight or, ew, further away? Won't it just increase crime? Years ago, before opening our Reading location, the sheriff there himself came and testified to reassure folks that they've got it backwards. Opening a methadone clinic would decrease crime, not increase it. I'm here to reassure you of the same. Folks have commented that Oroville already has X number of rehab or detox facilities, but none of these offer methadone. We are unique in that regard. In fact, a study at Yale in 2023 showed that in cases of opioid use disorder, short-term medically managed withdrawal, known as detox, and long-term rehab treatments that don't incorporate the medication are no more effective at preventing overdose deaths than no treatment at all. So this treatment works, medication-assisted treatment, and uniquely methadone that we offer. Right now, Butte County and Oroville only offers Suboxone, but Suboxone can be prohibitively difficult to initiate patients onto. Methadone is best. We've identified over 90 folks in your community who would benefit from a location here, because they're already our patients anyway, rather than having to drive to Chico or Marysville. Denying this location is denying the human beings in your community access to care. I urge the council to vote in favor of this appeal and to allow Aegis to proceed with opening a medication unit at this proposed location. Thank you.
Councilman Goodson's in the queue if your presentation is ready for questions. Are you ready for questions? Okay.
Yeah.
So I know this is off topic. This is an agenda item that specifically addresses the location. But there was something in your presentation, things that make you go, So my was, the clinic would be open 6 days a week. Is that what you said?
Correct.
So what happens on the 7th day? Because somebody with that addiction and that need for methadone would need something every day. So do you encourage take-home doses? And if so, would that not bring up a concern about overdoses? For somebody
He's the medical expert. I'll let him.
that's not going to be responsible.
That's a
You're
great-
giving a double up.
That's a great question. We have other medication units across the Sierras, across the whole North State, that are also not open on Sundays, and we treat this as a privilege. And so we do extend a Sunday take-home to patients, hoping for the best for them. And if they have further infractions, we do remove it and say, sorry, you've got to drive to Chico on Sunday to get that dose, which is inconvenient.
You mean
But
if they live to tell it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
rates of overdose death actually decrease by 50% for people who are maintained in the program as compared to people who are not in a program.
So my comment was just making reference to the person that goes home with 2 doses.
Right, right.
But our,
Sure.
our
Anyway,
dosing levels aren't.
that's not the agenda item. I just wanted some clarity on that.
Sure,
Thank you.
absolutely. And we have patients who have thrived and succeeded over time and have demonstrated trustworthiness and urine analysis results that are without illicit substances. And gradually over time, people that earn that trust can earn more and more unsupervised doses, which is even more convenient for them.
And one of the things that COVID has taught us, there were a lot more restrictions when it came to take-homes, especially with methadone compared to buprenorphine. And one of the things that COVID has taught us is that we were in a state of emergency. We had to get everybody take-home. So even if patients were testing positive for illicits across the state, we were still giving them take-homes. And I can't tell you one person that was our patient that overdosed. And somebody who was continuously testing positive with 28 days worth of take-homes, we did not have any issues. And I think that was an eye-opener for the state and for the federal government. So we actually do have new regulations when it comes to take-homes, that it's actually a lot easier to get take-homes now than what it has ever been, because COVID did teach us that.
All right.
Thank you.
Council, any questions from the dais? Do we have any comment cards?
Yes, we do, sir.
We thank you for your presentation, and we'll deal with the comment cards, and then you have 10 minutes to come back and rebate any of those questions, so.
Okay.
One of those is me, and you can remove it.
Okay.
Thank you for your presentation.
Mr. Mayor, before we begin with in-person, I'd just like to read into the record, we did have 2 e-comments, one from Billy Aldridge, the letter that she did read to you all, and then also one from Dan Friedman.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So we will begin with Valerie Hollers and follow that with Kathy Coco.
Valerie, welcome.
Thank you. Okay, I wanted to say that I've heard talk about the fact that generally you think having this facility is a good idea, but the location seems to be an issue. I mean, that's a lot about what I hear anyway. And currently, you have about 90 people driving or being transported daily to Chico or to Marysville. I don't understand why you think all of a sudden they're going to descend by foot upon the clinic almost simultaneously from across the street, crossing illegally. I think some of the things that are said in this regard are to perhaps alarm people. I just don't think they really make sense. I think people, most of them are going to get there the same way they're getting to Marysville and to Chico. And I did want to mention, even regarding the traffic issue, that it doesn't really matter what business goes in there. It's going to increase traffic. At least the clinic is 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. I think you'd be really happy if Olive Garden went in there, which would be a tremendous amount of traffic, particularly at the dinner hour, at the main commute hour. I just really don't see that. I think this is going to be less of a traffic issue than many other businesses are. And then I said something at one of the planning commissions about how many people have vehicle pedestrian encounters. And I was corrected that, I said, I hardly ever hear about this. I was corrected at the planning commission that this happens all the time. So I went and did some research from 2018 to current. This hardly ever happens. And in fact, at the most like 2 a year, and there's never been one single one in front of the clinic or 2 blocks or more to either side. So I don't see why that's such a concern. And then I wanted to mention that there was someone on the news the other night that was talking about one of their concerns, which was, obviously it was the only one this person could mention, and so I felt it was very paramount. And this is the parking there. And I don't know if this person knows how many parking spaces they have there, or how many they even need to address the needs of the clients and the employees. And they have 90. That's like way over what they're going to require. So this parking issue, it just isn't really valid. I don't mean to, insult anybody, but I feel there needs to be more accountability with the things that people are saying on both sides. If you're going to say something and it's a reason to approve or decline, you need to back it up with some figures and facts. I actually have figures and facts, and I can produce them for you. With the information that you to come to the conclusion that you would make.
Valerie, your time has expired, so thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
No, I said, I appreciate your time. Thank you. Yeah.
But you'll think about it.
Oh, we're all thinking about everything, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Up next, we have Kathy Coco, followed by Clara Smith.
Welcome, Kathy.
In closing, I would like to quote the most famous man that has ever lived, in my book anyway. And he said, "As you did to one of the least of these my brothers and sisters, you did it to me." Demonstrating that care of the vulnerable and marginalized are performing a direct service to Jesus. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have Clara Smith, followed by Nathan.
Welcome, Clara.
Executive Director of the Reading Aegis, and I just wanted to come up here. It is a location issue, so I'm going to try to keep it short because that's what we were asked to talk about. I wanted to just say, though, to your comment that you had said, the take-home would only be actually one take-home, not two. They would take their dose on Saturday, and they would only take home Sunday's dose. So they wouldn't be having a double dose on Sunday, just to clarify that.
Thank you.
Reading was very much the same. We started out as a medication unit that was pretty unsupported in the community, and since we've quadrupled in size and we're helping a ton of people in the community, I work very closely with the police station, with the EMTs, with the fire department, with other treatment services and agencies in our in our community, and I cannot tell you the amount of people that are benefiting from these services, and it is such a huge barrier when they have to drive so far on a daily basis. And I think that that's why it's really important for us to be able to get this in here to your community. And like Becca said, this is the third location, so it seems like it might be more than just a location issue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have Nathan, followed by Laura Fillmore.
Welcome, Nathan.
Is Nathan Sweats. I am the patient navigator for the Chico location. I'll make it quick. I just wanted to kind of talk on if there's any questions or concerns about our relationship with businesses that are next to us, and just especially with the patient navigator role. So one of the many roles that we do have is Narcan distribution. I know we've done Narcan distribution through the Operation Live On here in Oroville. Unfortunately, I don't have a spot where I can house mass amounts of Narcan without a clinic. The businesses that are around us, I purposefully make sure that I check in with on their Narcan levels, Narcan training and education, and as well as supporting them. I know that there is stigma that lingers around when it comes to methadone, and as you know, being brought up the methadone clinic and stuff like that. A part of my job is community relations, and so I do go to each business, check in with them, but I also have started to be able to branch out to different organizations. One of the organizations that here directly in Chico is the casino. The casino was actually spending their own dollars to go to the pharmacy and purchase Narcan before I was able to get in contact with them, provide them with Narcan training on how to use it, on myths and facts about Narcan, and then also check-ins with their staff if there is any type of major event. So this way it's able to alleviate them from having to go out and buy massive amounts. And this is something that we could continue to do within the community. We also do track Narcan saturation and overdoses in the area. But again, where I am only housed in Chico, rather than if I had the ability to be in Chico and in Oroville, I am completely open Monday through Sunday, 24/7. If you say, hey, I have a family member, I have a loved one that's struggling, they have questions, and it doesn't have to be to me. It doesn't have, what my job is to navigate them to the services that are needed the most. So if it is something that is requiring a lower level of care or higher level of care, that is something that I can help provide them with. As of right now, I personally have 209 people over the past 2 years that what we call direct admissions. So people that I have met either on the street or through businesses, organizations, local churches, and have been able to get them into treatment. And either some of them are on the streets, some of them are doctors and lawyers and people within our community that you would never expect. Easier to house a spot.
Right.
So I just wanted to say.
Thank you, sir. Quick question for clarification. You mentioned a casino. We have 2 casinos here in town. Which one?
So it would be Gold
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to make sure that we're clear. I believe the Aegis presentation with the initial presentation and then the additional staff, they're nearing about 19 minutes of total time, so I wanted to make sure they were aware of the 20-minute time limit.
Right.
If they have final comments that they want to use that last minute for with other staff or the proponent, I just wanted to make sure that they're aware. They still have about approximately a minute left of time.
Would you like to have another minute of talking at the podium? You're welcome to. Okay. Do we have any more
Yes, we
cards?
still have comment cards.
Okay.
Up next, we have Laura Fillmore.
Laura, welcome.
Just wanted to say that I'm Laura Fillmore, I own the building. So I just wanted to say a couple positive things about the location and why I think it's perfect. The doors are located midway on the building, not by the street. So there's a privacy that can come with that. It's a central location, easy ingress, easy out, egress, turnaround, all pretty easy in there. There's a perfect accident record. The whole 30 years that I ran the business out of there, we never had one accident where people hit each other coming in or going out or hit a car on the way out, nothing in the parking lot, never. There's no buildings or people or businesses on the backside or east side of the building. It's pretty isolated there, and I think that's a good thing. The traffic impact of a thriving retail business would be significantly more than what the clinic's going to generate. So that's, that's a good thing, not so much traffic. And then it is close to a care clinic. There's one block on the other side of the street, one block down at 5th. There's a care clinic there as well. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have Natalie Sheard, followed by the cameraman.
Welcome, Natalie.
Thank you. This location in a busy commercial district will not be able to safely handle what will be more than 60 patients. I know the Chico one has a capacity, I believe, of 540.
Good.
Patients who are weak and struggle with drug addiction will be walking and driving to and fro this location on a regular basis. Oftentimes, those patients are desperate to get to their dose of methadone at their scheduled time. It will not be uncommon that some will need extra medical attention. This use cannot appropriately be supported in this location. I recommend that we become proactive and designate a medical district in our zoning code. And within that zone, let's work on a location for sensitive healthcare services. Let's make sure they're in safe areas with less traffic and near emergency medical services. So instead of reacting to, in this case, 3 business applications for this opioid drug treatment business in a retail zone, let's as a community use the zoning process and work together and come up with what the residents and what you all believe is the best location and the most appropriate for this type of service.
Idea.
Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you. Up next, we have the cameraman, followed by Lauren Gill.
Good evening, Oroville City Council. I will give my sense on this and try and stick to it being the location at the issue here. That's what everything's about. Now, if the biggest argument here is pedestrians crossing illegally, well, I hate to break it to you guys, but that happens every single day on 162, whether it's a guy in a wheelchair, a guy with a shopping cart, or a little lady with her dog and her carrier that's attached to her automatic scooter and whatnot. They don't want to use the crosswalk. You can lead a horse to water. That doesn't mean it's going to drink. So unless we install more pedestrian crossings, which isn't going to change a thing. If someone's going to cross illegally, they're going to do it. I don't really think that's a major issue. I mean, because it's going on right now. The location itself, I mean, it seems, here's some businesses, here's an empty lot. It's like, if to appease the people that, hey, treatment's good, but we don't want to see it. Well, where do you want it to be? Like, you want it to be like Chernobyl and build like some sort of concrete dome over it to contain it and hide it? I mean, let's be realistic here. There's people on the street walking up down Oroville Dam Boulevard now that are withdrawing, that are high on drugs, that are, go out there at night. You'll see them. That's when they come out, a lot of them, you'll see them walking up and down. So I don't think the methadone clinic is going to change that which is already occurring right now. People are walking on our streets high on drugs, withdrawing from drugs, needing drug support in the sense of treatment to help get off that if they want to get off that. Parking, the issue of parking, it's like, well, I don't think, it seems to me they have a plan. They're not going to just, everybody's going to come all at once like bread, you go to the park and all the ducks swarm. I think it's going to be strategically spaced out. So I don't think parking is going to be too much of an issue. But if you want to bring up parking, well, look at some of our other businesses on Oro Dam Boulevard. You got Dollar General that has a decent parking. Across, you got Dollar Tree that has a massive parking and a lot of empty spaces. And then over there, you got like the laundromat and the UPS store. And it's all the time a battle to get a parking spot over there. So I think parking is going to be pretty much satisfied. And just regarding the medical district idea, I think that's a good idea, but we can't even get a new hospital wing open. So until we can even get that taken control of, I think then we can start looking at those ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Up next, we have Lauren Gill. And just for your knowledge, sir, this is the last public comment card I have.
Okay. Welcome, Lauren.
Off the airplane from Missouri.
Oh.
Everyone comes back to Oroville, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, councilors, I just have some notes I jotted down. It's all about the location. We and the tenants that I have were adjacent to this property, right adjacent to it. I heard that there's nothing on one side. There's 4 of my tenants are right next to it on one side. They and my wife and I, we have we've always had many small business properties. We rent them out and then eventually sell them. But we keep them for a long time. The property next door to us, the property that we do have next door to this property that we're just talking about, we've had it for 30 years. Way before that building was ever built. We've done, I think, a very good job in improving it. Our tenants who are there are 4 tenants there. They like it there. They don't want to see something else happen next door that's not retail, that complements what they do. Retail is different from anything else. And Oroville has a chance to become more of a retail area. It's getting that way, but we need to keep it going. So my wife and I, we have Gilco Properties. That's a partnership, means nothing. But for over 30 years, we've been doing this kind of business in town. We know a flavor for the town, I believe we do. Location. We're not realtors, but we're in the real estate business. That's what we do. There's a better use for this property. This is not the best use for this property. It's on Oro Dam Boulevard. Something else belongs there. We have nothing against the owners or the corporation or anything else, strictly the location. I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren.
That's all I have, sir.
Oh, the Vice Mayor Smith is in the queue.
Lauren,
Lauren,
Lauren.
I think he has a question for you.
Just a brief question. Yeah, you can go, from there. So you mentioned the 4 businesses that you apparently are representing on some level as the landlord. And so there was a notification that went out, I think, 300 feet. So that sounds like that these businesses are within that sphere. Just curious why that there was not any kind of letter of opposition put forth. So is that kind of what is happening here at this moment? Then are you stating that some of those tenants then that you have are concerned about? This may be a little more clarification, because that's what I was hearing. I was hearing that there is some concern that may not have been voiced when that initial notification went out about the intent.
Well, the four tenants that we have feel the same way that the Planning Commission decided, and so do we. We're the owner of the building. They have businesses there, and they feel the same way. As far as where we are, we're adjacent to that property. Whatever the city code is, we're maybe 10 feet away, whatever it is.
Right.
I don't know where they got the idea that there's nothing on one side.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you,
just
Lauren.
speaking to that with planning. I think that when I looked at it, I didn't see any opposition, that it seemed that that was a clean slate, but I'm hearing something different in a moment. I'm just acknowledging that, so.
Thank you, sir. No other public comments? Now, Wes, where's Wes at? You mentioned in this appeal process, they have their 20 minutes, and then do they have another 10-minute?
Yes, after testimony or arguments or whatever, they have 10 more minutes for rebuttal.
Okay. Would you like that?
Yes.
Rebecca? So it's,
Okay, I did want to address some of the items that did get brought up. One of the items, or the last one I know, is the real estate and the neighbors around. All of our locations, we do have what we call a concierge. That is technically our security, but it's not security. We used to go through security companies, but they were limited only to our facility, and it really wasn't because our patients are out of hand. It was to help with the traffic, the flow, parking, because a lot of our locations are in shared parking lots with other businesses. So the concierge, they get to know all of the neighboring businesses. We've never had issues. We are right beside 2 schools in Sonora, one location. We share a side with a school and the hospital. In Oxnard, we share the same driveway with a private school, and we don't have issues. So really, do our best to make sure that we are obtaining the property and we are the best neighbors that we can be. So we make sure, and it's a privilege for our patients to come to us. They are not mandated to come to us at any way, shape, or form. This is a voluntary program. So they know that they have rules. They know that there's a lot of stigma and NIMBYisms that they face. So they know that they're there to handle business and just get in and get out. I know you mentioned, our landlord mentioned that the entrance is on the side. One of the things that we can also consider, because there is a roll-up door on the back of the building, and we have used the back as entrances as well. So that's something we can consider. And if you don't want it on the side. We also don't have scheduled times for medication. Our hours are 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. for the medication, for this particular medication unit, so they would come in during any of that time. The only time that we have a scheduled is if somebody is coming in to admit into the program. Let's see. I know for the transportation, we use medical drivers for those individuals that have to use wheelchairs or anything like that. We have non-ambulatory patients from whether it's like the hospital that gets transported or skilled nursing facilities, things like that. So we do use medical drivers. We also, about 50% of our patients use transportation through Partnership Health. So they are not driving themselves. They have a driver, whether it's Uber, Lyft, those types of services. So I wanted to clarify that. And also, not all of our patients are homeless. And I know there's this stereotype of what a patient looks like. But honestly, some of the staff that we have today, some have gone through recovery. So can you honestly pick out who has gone through recovery and who hasn't? So I know there's that stereotype that our patients are the 30-year IV heroin user, and that's honestly not the case anymore. Fentanyl is the #1 drug of choice, not heroin anymore. And a lot of our patients are coming to us below the age of 30. And especially Chico being a college town, we have a ton of young adults. And so we're actually switching how we treat patients away from heroin, really, and focusing our targets on fentanyl, because that's what the real issue that we're seeing now. So in our current Chico location, less than 9% of our patients are homeless. Let's see. And then also, I mean, again, this is a reminder, this is the third building that we have looked at. And all the sites that we have identified also require a use permit. So again, this isn't the first or the second. We've already moved once for the city. So it does feel like there's something else going on besides just the location. Again, because we've already spent time, effort, money. We've complied with the city 2 other times. And here we are again. And I always encourage everybody, you're more than welcome to come and visit any of our Chico locations. Grass Valley is not too far from here. Marysville is not too far from here. You're always more than welcome to come and visit the site, see what it is, look at what the parking lot looks like, look at what the inside of the clinic looks like. Because I think there's a lot of misjudgments on those. Do you have anything on this?
Absolutely. I think those are all great points. I worked in the Grass Valley Clinic today, where they serve 120 patients with a much smaller parking lot, and it is fine. The Reading Clinic serves over 800 patients with a shared parking lot. It's a little tight. I wish it could be bigger, but it's also fine. The Modesto Clinic serves over 900 patients, and the parking lot is just fine. But Oroville is not alone. We are trying to reach more people in more places because our patients in Eureka, some of them come down every single day from Crescent City, an hour-and-a-half drive each way, just to say to the nurse, hello, this is my name and birthday. Thank you for my dose. See you tomorrow. 3 hours out of their day. So we're trying to open a medication unit in Crescent City. So you're not alone. We're not singling you out. This is how we reach more people. A previous regional operations director told me a fact that left my mouth hanging open, that of all the people eligible and in need of medication-assisted treatment for opioid use disorder, fewer than 10% actually have access to care. So if you live way out in the sticks, you might be hosed. So it's vital to bring these services to where people are, because even with the Medi rides, that can be a barrier for people. I have something special to show you. There's a gentleman who gave his permission to show his likeness, so we're not violating patient privacy or anything. He gave us permission to show his face here at this meeting because he thought it would be meaningful. Here's what he looked like before he entered treatment. Looks kind of rough, right? Can't keep any weight on. Pretty hollow in the cheekbones. Looks like he's barely slept, right? Let me show you this patient's face now, after he's been in treatment. This is him today.
Well,
people get their lives back. I've watched it happen. When I first interviewed for this job years ago, I asked folks, what's your favorite part of doing this job? And they independently said, without asking each other, watching people come back from the dead. And that's what I'm talking about. It is so cool to watch people reclaim, brick by brick, their agency and the things that had been hijacked from them because of the powerful chemistry of addiction. Not because they were bad people, because if you could go to church and pray hard enough to be rid of this, people would have done that already, and we wouldn't need to open these clinics. But it's very simply powerful molecules of chemistry, and people are so enslaved by the symptoms of withdrawal that they will do anything on this green earth to not feel that way, and that's why these clinics make crime go down. So if we can quiet the chaos of the withdrawal and craving symptoms, people can hold their jobs again. People can be parents to their kids again. So I think it's really meaningful for me to do this work. Thank you for letting me have your time today. I do hope that we can open a clinic in this town. I think it's a great idea to have a medical zoning thing in the future. That's a later idea. We need a now idea. And this location is a great now idea.
Doctor, we do have one question from Vice Mayor Smith.
Yeah, so,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, two things. So, and I do and certainly appreciate, obviously, people need the service, and I don't think that is the question that's before us, really. It's not about the efficacy or the validity of this service. I mean, clearly, people are
Thank you.
Are saved, from, the ravages of addiction. And so I think that there are probably have, hopefully, hundreds of amazing stories. So to that, I do have a question, which you'd mentioned the Oxnard location being sharing a driveway. So when I was reviewing this, it said that you couldn't be within 500 feet of a school. So I'm just sharing what I read. Now, when you say that, then obviously there's a disconnect. So I wanted you to, address that. So, in particular, because, when I look at rules around certain types of operations, there's the reason as to how it got there, right? So if there's a concern about a particular type of service that's being rendered, and so if there are restrictions placed, then, that gets on my radar. So, well, what is the rationale behind that? What are the concerns behind that? And then how might those concerns be layered into this particular location? And the planning department, now staff, they've had somewhat of a change. And just to be transparent, I'm a little disappointed that this is your third location. That should have been, we shouldn't be here, in my opinion. That somehow that should have been worked out, but nevertheless, here we are. I'm kind of interested in where those other two locations were, although that's not what's before us. And I do, back to the forward thinking, I think that the Planning Commission mentioned. Now, I think I'd like to see the forward thinking implemented now, honestly, as to having that identified for zoning, and rather than in hindsight. And in fact, that's been somewhat of a challenge for our city as we're grappling with whether it's streets, improvements, that oftentimes is the problem where, people make decisions in the moment because there doesn't seem to be another alternative. And then 5 years later, 10 years later, 50 years later, now we have challenges because of, poor planning, poor decision making, because it seemed to be the right thing in the moment without forward thinking. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm thinking about not just in the moment, not just the fact that there are people clearly that need the service, not a question. And Orville probably needs this type of service, probably yesterday. But I'm not going to be necessarily backed into a corner for lack of a better way of saying it, because of that. So back to the location. What are the dynamics behind that? And then why is it that they put a 500-foot buffer, if you will, around the type of service that you're discussing? Or am I completely?
Yeah, so we actually don't have a buffer. There is no rule that we can't be beside schools or any. We're a medical facility. We're a medical office. So we don't have any buffer. We do have a checklist that we try not to be beside schools because we know that we really face a lot of NIMBYism. In Sonora, we chose that location because it's literally right beside the hospital. So that medical mile is beside the elementary school. So there's no getting around that. In Oxnard, the school is really supportive. And like I said, we've had zero issues at all. One of the sites that we actually looked at that I mentioned, I don't know if Daniel can hear me online and get me the address. But one of the sites is actually one that the city gave us, and it's 2167 Montgomery. Thank you, Dan. And that's actually right beside a after-school program, and I think it's Mrs. Grace's preschool. Don't quote me on that. That's right across the street. So it's just interesting because that was the list that we got from the city of Oroville. And that was one of the locations on that list. But yeah, we don't have any specific, we're medical office, so we don't have any restrictions on where we can go.
If I might just segue to the staff real quick. I did read that in the planning, there was a mention of a 500-foot. Am I completely missing that?
No, Wes will answer that question for you.
Okay, maybe Wes?
The other site that we were looking at was 1849 Oro Dam Boulevard by where Big Lots used to be.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we do have in our codes a 500-foot buffer for medical treatment facilities of this type. That's in our code, so this site does meet that criteria. We also looked at some alternatives and did offer 5 different locations and sites. We didn't really evaluate them. We looked at facilities that either had a history of homeless or treatment facilities in the past, or had been mentioned to us. But we didn't really evaluate them. We trusted that the applicant might look at them and evaluate them themselves for their own needs.
Thank you.
Thank you for that clarification. So.
Appreciate that. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Councilman Johnstone has a question.
Mr. Mayor, I might just interrupt briefly. I did find what looks like an exhibit at my desk. I wondered if the council members had received it, and it is not in evidence at this moment. I don't know where it came from, so whoever did distribute this maybe wants to just.
Yes, I can speak to that. That was from Wes. That was while you guys were in closed session. It's a handout provided to all of you, to which I will upload to the packet later. This is regarding the proposed agenda item.
And I also just wanted to make sure that the proponent got a copy.
Okay.
So maybe
This,
you can just explain this particular thing.
This is all information that was in the original Planning Commission packet. It didn't, the drawing pages themselves, there were 4-size drawings, and they didn't convert to the city council's agenda. So we gave you hard copies,
Gotcha.
but they were in the Planning Commission packet as well. And the 500-foot buffer was there as well in the Planning Commission packet.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So at this point, we'll close the public comment session in the public hearing, and I'll lean toward the council to debate and take action. Councilman Johnstone's in the queue.
Thank you. So I did just have a couple questions for you, if I could. You had mentioned that you would be open from 6 to 11 a.m. Yeah, would you mind, please? Thank you.
Sorry, not sure the rules.
No worries. No worries. No, I appreciate you coming back up. Thank you so much. So I'm thinking of, you initially said about 90 clients would be using the facility in that location. I'm thinking, so is that just going to stay at 90 clients, or are you anticipate growth, I would imagine, correct?
We would anticipate growth because, like we mentioned, those 90 are currently either at our Marysville and Chico. So they're making the commute right now. So we would anticipate growth because we did have other patients that are from Oroville specifically that have dropped out due to transportation issues.
Okay, and then
we usually apply for our licensing for a medication unit for 75, but because we already have the 90, we would put in a request with the state to do a slot capacity of 125.
Okay.
And our other medication units, for example, Placerville serves about 120 at this time. Grass Valley has grown to about 140. It is our hope that we serve enough people that they can then graduate to become a full-fledged clinic with much more staff on site and open longer hours and more days of the week. For example, Reading started out as a medication unit, and it's now 800 people. And so the expansion model typically is the applicant wants to find a suite near some maybe available future options for forward thinking. And so it was mentioned that half of this building would be leased up front.
Utilized initially.
It could, we are hoping it could be likely that we might expand to fill the rest of the building someday. Who knows how long that might take?
And that's kind of what I'm leading to, is you had mentioned early on in your presentation that you don't just offer the prescription part of it, you do offer counseling and such too. So I would anticipate that it would probably grow pretty quickly. And as far as the safety issue and the amount of people that are coming in and out of that will grow exponentially as well, I would imagine. And so you've anticipated all of that as well?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. So when you are serving, you said 125 clients, you anticipate with there only being, what was that, 70 parking spaces? Are you going to be expanding your hours as well, so it won't be just 6 a.m. to 11 a.m., it will be all day?
Yeah, we look at everything. So we look at if let's say we are at the 125 and the hours are not enough, then we will expand the hours to make sure, again, that our flow, the traffic, everything runs smoothly. Because that is a big part of our operations, because we want the customer and our patients to come in and out, not have to wait long, not have to have that burden, because we have a lot that are working or going to school or whatever it may be that they need to get to. And again, out of that, the 90 patients, we have several of those patients who are already on take-homes. So some of them might only come in once a month, some of them might only come in once a week.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Thompson's in the queue.
I don't need you guys to stand up. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you for the.
Thank you.
I just want to redirect this back to the topic at hand, which is whether or not Aegis is a valid business or the clinic is needed or valid for the community. This whole discussion, the premise is location. And so while I appreciate the comments from staff and especially the doctor, some of which were, by the way, condescending, which was fine, but it's best when you're appealing something to be more appealing and not necessarily condescending, just for future reference. But personally, I welcome this in our community, but going back to what our planning commission said, I think it's good that our staff has recommended a couple other locations, and it'd be good to work with them to find a good location, because obviously drug addiction is not only rampant in California, but we all know it's rampant in Oroville. So having, many sources of freedom is welcome for our community, whether it be somebody praying at church and finding deliverance, or whether somebody going to the Aegis company and finding freedom there. Wonderful. We're all for that. So I just recommend you guys work with the staff to find a best location so that works with your clients and works with the city.
Okay. Any other council members? Oh, Councilman Reynolds, please.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt resolution number 9407, denying the appeal and upholding the planning commission's denial of the use permit UP 25-11.
Second.
Okay, under the question, any other questions about the motion, just to be clear? Seeing none, call the roll.
Mr. Reynolds' motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. All right. Next public hearing is the public hearing regarding voter-approved charter changes to the city charter. And we're a little late, it's now 6:15, but we've had things going on. So thank you all for your presentations. Mr. Ring, what do you have?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Back, believe it or not, in late 2023, this council formed an ad hoc committee which consisted of council members Thompson and Goodson to work with myself,
On the charter.
Assistant City Attorney, Mr. Ritchie, and Ron Belser from Code Enforcement to review the charter in great detail. We had numerous conversations with this council. After those meetings and back in April of 2024, staff were directed to bring these items to the ballot back in November 24. It was a little bit complicated because when you have so many changes that are proposed in a charter, we had to package them together within specific, if there was a specific issue, for example, removing the treasurer position, that needed to be its own particular ballot measure. So ultimately, staff worked with the elections office. We put 4 measures on the ballot. Those measures were Measure J, changing the city treasurer from elected to appointed. Measure K, changing the compensation structure for city council members to be set by ordinance. Measure L, which would have repealed Articles 27 and 28 and establishing the Park Commission as an advisory commission. And then Measure M, streamlining provisions and making corrections that were frankly outdated. 4 measures on the ballot. One of the measures passed, the streamlining one. The first 3 I talked about did not pass. So before you tonight is the new revised charter with the streamlined corrections included in it that were voted on and passed in Measure M. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from council? Any comment cards? No public comment cards? Vice Mayor Smith?
Yeah.
Thank you.
At risk of great political peril,
Oh, God.
I think that many of those recommendations were valid, and I was very concerned that we really didn't do as adequate of a job as we probably could have in explaining to the public, why those things were there and what the virtues of passing that. And why we needed to do that. So I don't want us to be, I think we need to do a better job of messaging and communicating so as we continue, because there's a lot of still updating that the charter needs.
Correct.
It's just necessary. And so I think next go around when we tackle this, that we need to just do a better job at answering, maybe an opportunity for the community to come together and have more of a Q&A and that type of thing, and just do a better job at that. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay.
And the purpose of this presentation, again, we kind of did a self-inflicted public hearing to provide opportunities to answer any questions if there were any more from the public. Wanted to make sure that if you had a chance to review it, if there was any cleanup items. Again, we scoured over this many times, compared it to the item that was presented in April of 24. Believe we've got all of the cleanup and corrections that were voted on and adopted. But if there's no other questions, what we'll do is we'll bring this back for official adoption at the next meeting in October.
Great.
Do we still have a baseball commission?
Oh, gee.
We do it, believe it or not, that's in our
We do?
municipal code, not in our charter.
Wrong one.
Yeah.
Mr. Belser's.
Yeah. I think you have consensus. If I'm looking around we have consensus to move forward, bring it back?
Input on it, we'll bring it back.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
then, at that point, we'll close the public hearing and get back to our regular agenda items.
No break.
Or shall we take a 5-minute break, folks?
Yes.
I'm looking around, we need a 5-minute break, so we'll come back in here at 6:30. Do we happen to have any cards?
Yes, we do, Mr. Mayor. We have 3. We'll begin with the cameraman and follow that with Bill Spear.
Cameraman, is he here? Oh, there he is. Yep, sorry, didn't see it. Thank you.
Okay, first I will begin with seeing on the Facebook community pages around Oroville, different ones and whatnot, that there was a high school student at one of our local high schools that committed suicide the past week. Couldn't get too much information about it, but rightfully so. Want to respect the privacy of the parents. But just to bring up the topic of bullying, because that's the consensus word of going around, that was the alleged reason. So just seeing what our city at the city level could possibly do to look into help, address that problem of bullying and really mental health overall with our youth, especially the times we are dealing with right now. Those are some of our most, I think, vulnerable people, especially in this age of social media, to needing mental health treatment, and being reminded, take a break once in a while. Another matter is Riverbend Park on November 9th. About approximately 30 vehicles were locked in. This was a soccer game going on, and from my understanding, the rules is that the park closes at sunset, which is understandable. But the sunset for that day was like 7:22, and right on the dot, as the post said, the park guys there showed up, closed the gate, and it seemed to be more so out of the pettiness of that saying, like the school, the bell doesn't dismiss you, I do. Well, sort of like if you don't leave, I lock you in. And they had to call Oroville police to come and let them out. And this isn't a new thing. I mean, people have gotten locked in before occasionally. It's usually one person, forgot, hiked a little longer. But to lock in families with their kids and then to be seen on video just driving off afterwards, that is not a good look, and that person should be held accountable to some degree. I know this is kind of more of Feather River Park's jurisdiction, but I think it's important for the council to know this is, this is Oroville. This is what, one of our biggest parks that people use in our city. I think, they should be advised. And I don't have too much time remaining, but on some other notes, our council member Reynolds, he did do a sit down with Haley Watts, Action News Now. Interesting listen to. With that being said, if you did listen to the interview, I'm not totally surprised he was the member to lead the motion on the treatment facility, as he described in reference to marijuana dispensaries. I respect his opinion, but we didn't want another drug factory, obviously.
Thanks, sir.
Up next, we have Bill. Sorry.
Smith, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a brief statement about the Feather River Parks District, and you accurately did state that that is in their jurisdiction, and they are elected officials. And so I would just encourage you to go to one of their board meetings, and they would be the board that would be able to take action if discipline was necessary or some other issue that needed to be addressed there. So I just encourage you to do that.
Up next, we have Bill Spear, followed by Lonnie Lynn.
Yep. Welcome, Bill.
Verse of the day, Deuteronomy 11:18. Fix these words of mine in your hearts and minds, tie them as symbols on your hands, and bind them on your foreheads. I'd like to pray. Father, we thank you for your word and the power of your word. Thank you for what you're doing in our city. Thank you for all the new officers that were sworn in tonight. And as they serve the city, Lord, that you would bless them, that you would use them mightily, that you would bless their families and their children. Thank you for our police chief. We pray you continue to bless him, continue to use him, Lord, to raise up men and women of honor. When we pray upon our fire, Lord, as we're in fire season, our firefighters, our fire department, that you would bless them and protect them. We ask your protection upon our city, Lord, in this fire season. We pray for supernatural protection, supernatural favor, supernatural provision in every area. Thank you for all the people that serve. Thank you for our city council. We pray you would continue to bless them, continue to give them wisdom. Supernatural wisdom says, if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all, and it will be given. And so we ask, seeking, knocking, and we're receiving tonight. You continue to raise our city up to be a city on a hill, a light on a shelf. Continue to bless the church and the churches and the nonprofits. Continue to be thankful for the rescue mission and all that they do there. This new season for them, as you continue to use them to make changes in people's lives, to make a way. Jesus, you said you are the way and the truth and the life. And Lord, I just pray that provision for them and guidance for them. And Lord, that you would bring people there and then make a way for them out of there into the community. We thank you for the Hope Center and them not giving up. And it says, do not grow weary in doing good, that we'll receive a harvest if you do not give up. And we're not giving up, and we just pray that harvest. We pray that increase. We pray your kingdom come, your will be done here in Orville as it is in heaven. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thanks, sir.
Up next, we have Lonnie Lind, and that's the last submitted speaker card I have.
Hello, council members and mayor. Thank you for giving me some time this evening. I just wanted to come and remind everyone that there will be a public participation hearing here in this room next Tuesday at 2 p.m. and another one at 6 p.m. It'll be hosted and facilitated by the California Public Utilities Commission regarding our application at your behest to remove the requirement for Cal Water to fluoridate the water supply. So I just wanted to remind everyone, it is next week at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. We really want to hear from everyone. The entire endeavor of the night is that our customers be heard with regards to their opinions and what they want in their drinking water. So, thank you.
I have a question before you leave.
Yes.
And it's going to be the question, I know you're going to, do we know if and when the PUC will actually make a ruling after that hearing, or will they make it during that hearing?
The purpose of the hearing is to hear the people who are affected by the decision. That is the end of the purpose of the hearing. So they will come, the administrative law judge assigned to this case will come and will hear everybody, and those comments will go on record with regards to this fluoridation application. And at another point, a decision will be made, and we will be informed at that time at what the decision is. So
Thank you. Vice Mayor Smith has a question for you.
No, I just wanted to thank you for reminding us of this up-and-coming discussion. I think it's really important. Obviously, I think there was a unanimous vote from this dais regarding removing fluoride from Cal Water where it's serviced here in Oroville. And I just want to say that, there's, again, more research, more information coming out about fluoride all the time. Generally, what I read is not good. And, of course, it's a national discussion as well now with the Trump administration, which has even heightened and drawn more attention to the issue of fluoride in the water and some of those discussions. So I just encourage our constituency to look at that and come out and voice and if they have concerns regarding that, because this, I think, is a pretty big deal. We voted to have it done, and that's being put in the question or check. So I just want to encourage folks to come out and let their voices be heard. Thank you.
Thank you, Lonnie. Next item up, if we're done with the cards. Oh, Councilman Goodson, excuse me.
I just wanted to know, decision, we should have it prior to the first of the year.
I would love I would love to
that's
be able to answer
prophetic.
that question for you, and I have no power over the timing for the rest of the rollout. I will absolutely keep you guys in the loop moving forward with any communications that we receive. So
We appreciate your patience.
you.
This has been over a year, I think.
Yeah.
Over a year.
Yes, over a year, so thank you.
oh, thank you.
Okay, moving forward to council announcements and reports. Any council announcements? Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, two things. So the 21st of this month, which is Sunday, 10 to 1, there's going to be a Feather River cleanup at the Riverbend Park. I would encourage you to motor over to or use the internet, as the case may be, to go to Feather River Parks District's website and pre-register, because there will be a meal provided courtesy of Golden Valley Bank. So I just want to encourage everyone to jump on board and help us beautify the city, because the next weekend, Saturday on the 27th, will be Salmon Festival. And this is where Orville busts out its best. And there are just so many partners. It really takes a village to make an amazing event like this. And so I just thank all of the community members and service clubs, of course, the Feather River Hatchery, Department of Water Resources, yes, their help as well. And so there's just so many folks that come together to make the Salmon Festival a successful event. And so thank you.
Any other councilmen? Seeing none, I'll make a quick report. I attended the grand opening of the 12-unit apartments up in Paradise that were lost in the fire today. And the significant thing is that that particular apartment complex is being named after the retiring executive officer, Mayor Commons. But in his remarks, I had something that was very interesting I thought I'd just mention here. There's been 43 projects since the campfire in this county that were either part of the Housing Authority or others and part of disaster funding. They call it DR funding. Those 43 projects in this county amounts to over almost $1.5 billion of money being brought to this county in housing constructions just since the COVID fire. So, and that amounts to, I think he said, 2,300 different opportunities for housing. So it's been a big deal since the campfire. I was a little shocked at the number, over $1 billion, but that's what these 43 projects brought to here. So it's money coming back to our community from our taxpayers that went to Washington and to the state capitol. So it was a good thing to hear. That's just, it's a beautiful apartments, all metal sides. There's no combustible anything around any part of the building. So just something to look for as a future. Anybody else? If not, I'll go to staff reports.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple quick updates. The work being done on Highway 162 from the PG&E gas line project that's been going on most of the summer. I think you've all seen some repair work done in the last week, and I was just talking with Brenda in the break, and they're planning, excuse me, they're planning to have most of the roads repaired tonight. So, which is great news. I don't know if I'm not sure if you've driven it. I drove it over it yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Spots,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
a huge difference. So, I know we've fielded a lot of complaints, and Brenda has been, and PG, they've been very receptive to hearing our concerns over the time with the temporary patches, because they were rough. So anyways, we should be seeing that by the end of tonight. Certainly this week, it's going to be wrapped up. So that's good news. I just wanted to also put on the council's radar. Alyssa and I have been meeting, and also with Tim as well, with BCAG, and obviously having a partnership with BCAG is absolutely critical. I think we've all realized a lot of funding for roads goes through BCAG, and we've been fortunate enough to receive obviously CMAQ dollars, which were air quality dollars to help us with the engineering and design and right-of-way and a lot of the components with the Table Mountain Washington Corridor project. And they've also recently awarded some additional funds, I think 750,000, 800,000, which is going to help us get that design work to 100%, which is huge help. BCAG is hosting next week the California Transportation Commission, and it's a big deal. There's a lot of folks coming into this area. They're going to be touring Paradise has a number of projects. Chico has a number of projects. We're going to be presenting there, I believe, Friday morning. Again, advocating for Orville and the Table Mountain Washington Corridor project. So, just big kudos to BCAG and Yvonne, who we work with quite a lot, but they've been a huge help, and it's a big deal. These folks will be here next week.
Yes, I just,
It's working.
is it working? Okay. I wanted to give you guys a brief update about the goings-on at Esperanza Village. So they are, if you remember, this was a pilot program where we had identified an encampment that they were going to be working with the individuals there to try to move them to Esperanza Village as it opened. They have done a lot of community outreach, but they've only been able to make contact with about 3 of them still. And these 3 individuals entered into the rescue mission prior to the opening of Mission Esperanza, and they're doing great. They're going through case management, and they're going to be entering the pallet shelter soon. They've be able to move in 5 additional guests into Mission Esperanza into the pallet shelters, and they're already making great strides with their case management. They're getting their job interviews. Some of them have apartment complexes, getting their IDs and stuff, and they feel like they'll be going into permanent housing relatively soon. And then there are 4 to 6 that are coming night by night that are staying in the congregate shelter. So it's off to a little bit of a slow starter than we thought it was, but they're definitely making some progress, and they have continued outreach. So
Good.
that's what
Good
I
to
got.
hear. Thank you. Anybody else on this side of the room? Ruth? No? We're good? How about over here? Who wants to chat?
I just want to let you know that a lot of members of my team will be there for the cleanup, along with the City Works. And an update on 1630, 1640, and 1650 Lincoln. The property owner is pushing through with the eviction. I know it's a mess right now, and it's probably going to get worse before it gets better, but eventually it will be cleaned up. So when the eviction's final, when they can no longer be on the property, then we'll take the necessary steps to make sure that area is cleaned up. So will the property owner, and hopefully get it looking good again.
Quick question on that. If I remember right, there's a business occupancy in the front, and then there's a residence in back?
It is very mixed use as far as you can actually live in the front.
Okay.
And it's a residential office. It's an interesting, I was working with the
Planning.
group, just the ad hoc committee.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we're going
yeah.
to talk about coming and asking for that area to be rezoned, kind of clean it up, because it's really weird. You know,
Yeah.
You can actually live inside a business, they're actually designed to be lived in.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Well, Police Chief, you took enough time tonight. I don't know what Thank you. Alyssa?
Well, nothing major to report from Public Works. As Councilman Smith stated, Salmon Festival is coming up, so I know there's been a lot of prep on the part of Public Works staff to just kind of get geared up for that, and you'll hear more about Public Works here shortly as far as upcoming work. So,
thank you.
I have one more thing I'd like
Sure,
to add, just
shoot.
really quick. The MLEs and code enforcement during this entire week will be along the bike trail, giving notice to all the illegal encampments, so that on the day of the cleanup, everybody will be gone.
Could be gone.
That's
Reduce
cool.
the safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, and coming from the chief of police, the police department will be out there Saturday as
Okay.
well to make sure that the individuals are moved along. We just don't want any,
By the way, compliments to the MLE's uniform shirts. They're very nice.
Yeah, they look great.
Look really good. Yeah.
It wasn't intended, but they dropped the other colors.
Oh, okay.
So we had
Wow.
to shift midstream there, and
Yeah.
I really
Good
like
shit.
the look.
Oh, yeah, I think they're nice. They're very nice, yeah. Cool. All right, folks, we're going to go to the consent calendar, but I think we have someone that needs to recuse himself from that, so.
Oh, you do?
Yes, do you want to disclose,
Explain
Vice
why.
Mayor, a couple items you're going to
Yeah,
disclose?
so the event fees for the DBR floating classrooms, and then the fee waiver for the museums as well as Salmon Festival items, and my office directly is involved with that, so.
Okay.
So if we can take maybe we can take a motion on those first two items, and we'll bring back the vice mayor to vote on the rest of them, if that works.
We can do that, yeah, let's do that. First two items,
Leave number two and
Number
second,
number
third.
two and
three, yeah.
three.
two and three. Entertain a motion for.
So moved.
Call the roll.
Motion passes with 6 yeses, one recusal.
Back in. So item, next items would be item number 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 on the consent agenda. Any questions about those items, or do I entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please. Do we have any cards in any of these consent items?
We do not.
Okay. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right. Just to let you know, we just bought a new ladder truck for that one consent item number 8 for $2,904,367. Just,
In a type one.
We did.
Gene Tins is doing his happy dance.
yeah. Regular business, item number 10, recommendation of appointment of Dakota Quinn to the Orville Park Commission.
Yes, Mr.
All
Mayor.
right.
I will take this item. Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. Tonight, staff's bringing forward a recommendation to appoint Dakota Quinn to serve on the Orville Park Commission with a term beginning today and ending September 16th, 2030. Mr. Quinn's a lifelong Orville resident, representing 4 generations of his family in this community. He has been deeply involved within the community, including coaching U16 soccer, volunteering with the Orville Youth Soccer League and martial arts programs, also serving in leadership roles with the Stream Parents Club and School Site Council. Mr. Quinn's dedication to youth and the community, combined with his strong ties to Orville, makes him a highly qualified candidate for this appointment. Staff respectfully recommends that the City Council appoint Dakota Quinn to serve on the Orville Park Commission with the term beginning today through September 16th of 2030.
Any questions? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Call the roll, please. Thank you, Mr. Quinn, for volunteering to serve with us. Item number 11, agreement with Comcate for code enforcement software. Mr.
Good
Belser.
evening, Mayor and council members. What you have for consideration is agreement with Comcate for code enforcement software services. I kind of want to start with, I consider myself fiscally responsible. I don't like to spend money unless it's important and necessary for my department. Starting from the beginning, November of 2024, there was a software implementation in my department. I didn't get a chance to vet this software. I went through all the workflow with my team and the company, and unfortunately, it's not a good fit for my department. It takes extended amount of times to open up cases. We have no GIS. Violations can only be added one at a time. Inspections can only be added one at a time. You can't find your follow-up inspections. When you search for a particular case, it'll provide you every case other than the one you're looking for. It does some inaccurate reporting issues. When I bring you numbers, I can pull reports, and then I can go back through and export everything out to a Excel spreadsheet and go through the numbers, and they do not match up with the report that it provides. Having that said, I have taught and attended a lot of code enforcement conferences. And during the code enforcement conferences, they always have a time to visit a trade show. And I sat through multiple code enforcement software demonstrations by companies like Acela, CitizenServe, Citizen Plus, Comcate, and as well as my team. And Comcate, to me, is the absolute best fit for my department. And in doing so, in vetting this company, I reached out to existing customers across the United States. I spoke to code enforcement in Daphne, Alabama, who had the software for over 5 years and absolutely love it for their department. Orem, Utah, great software, easy to use, easy to train people. Panama City, Lynn Haven, and Springfield, Florida. It's a great program, and all three of the agencies said that they wouldn't go with anything else. Some of them have had it over 7 years. Arvada, Colorado, so it's a great code enforcement software and excellent customer service. There's no secrets, and if you have any type of technical issues, the customer service and the support that you get is amazing. In Wildemore, California, spoke to a code enforcement officer there, said it's easy to train people on. Some people can learn the system within a day. Easy implementation. Implementation can take less than 45 days. And this particular officer also used the same system in Paris, California. To talk about the Comcate software, comes with streamlined case management. Their custom filters and personal dashboards to make it easy to review and find cases. Enhanced reporting, it makes it super easy to open up a case. You can open a case with 90 seconds. Our current software takes you about 10 minutes. And then if you have multiple violations, it takes longer. And then if you do an inspection and come back, you have to set the date for the new inspection, one violation at a time. You literally have to back out of the case and open it up. Increased field mobility with this system will come with built-in GIS at a cost, and I'll go over the cost with you. But the paperweight iPads that have been sitting around our office will now be put into use. My team will be out in the field opening up cases, taking pictures, attaching them right there to the iPad versus having to go out, find a violation, come back to the office and open up a case. Increased efficiency, and right now my department, I am sad to mean to report because I love my department, and Trackit software, which we had prior to that, was very amazing software, but our efficiency is gone. I mean, it's sad. I really feel like I'm driving a vehicle at nighttime with no headlights sometimes, not knowing what my people are doing. And again, easy to learn. Improve community relations. We'll be able to communicate certain information out to the community that makes reports or code enforcement reports about where we are with the case. We aren't going to go into detail naturally because these cases are private, but we will be able to share that information with the people who make a report just to build some community relations. Going on the software cost, the implementation is $11,007. I did not want to bring any cases over from our current software, which will save us a lot of money. I believe that the cases that we've done on our current software can just sit there. If we need to move them over, we'll print up the history, attach it to a new case, and open it up. The cost for the GIS services is $1,900, and right now I pay $2,999 for ParcelQuest, because we don't have information on property owners, and we don't have GIS. So in order to know that we're giving notice to the right person, we need the accurate information of who owns the property or how many people are responsible for the property. Right now, I pay $2,999 for that service. They'll blend this service in with the software for $1,000 a year, so it saves a couple $1,000 a year.
That's a good deal.
The fiscal impact, as far as that goes, there's some cost savings for code enforcement. It's going to be cheaper for us to run this throughout the year, but the existing software that is there, the cost for that will be allocated to other departments. And I do have a demonstration of the software. You guys would like to see that. It's about 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
And then also on board, is Connor on board? Okay.
I am. Good
All
evening,
right, so
Council.
I have Comcate Account Executive Connor Dorr, who will be able to answer any questions.
Councilman Goodson has a quick question for you.
Is it user-friendly for the community, and would we need training? I don't know.
Like the community?
Yeah, I mean, because I want to just be able to input everything and get a readout ASAP.
It is.
Okay.
If that'll get you to say yes, sure.
I'm going to start today's demo by clicking the Create a Case button and show you how quick and how easy it is to document a new code enforcement case in Comcate. You start by clicking the blue Create a Case button and scrolling to the location bar and adding your address. Today I'll be adding 2504 West Roman Avenue. When I select that parcel, the owner's information is automatically added to the case. There's a few ways Comcate can work with your agency to get your owner information into Comcate, but generally we're working with someone who has tax roll or assessor data to upload it into Comcate or connect it live, so it's always up to date. Once the address is added to the case, we can move down and make sure that we add the violations to the case next. All of your violations will be preloaded into Comcate during the implementation period, which for us only takes 45 days. We're very, very nimble and very fast, and we take pride in how quickly we can help agencies get live on our application. Today I'll be adding a weeds violation, followed by a trash violation on the same case, fully documented. Next, we add the contacts onto our case. Because we've integrated with assessor's data, the owner, whether it's a business or an individual, has already been added to the case, along with their contact information. We can also add other contacts that have been on previous Comcate cases that are available in our Comcate database. In this case, I'll add Mr. John Johnson as the complainant. And I could also add other new contacts if I have never had an interaction with this person before through Comcate. We can also add photos and attachments to this page if we have any, but for now I'll skip that step and I'll go to the top of the page and I'll click Create Case. Before we finish, we have to schedule an inspection. So I'll choose Schedule Verification Inspection, schedule time to go out tomorrow, and assign this to a member of my staff, Elizabeth, and I'll click Create and Schedule Inspection. And that's it. The case has now successfully been created in Comcate in less than a minute. To show you how to perform and log an inspection on a code enforcement case so your record is always up to date, I'm going to scroll down to the right here and click blue Perform Inspection button. And the first thing I need to do is go on the record and validate that both of these violations are legitimate after I perform my verification inspection. I'll do so here, clicking valid for the weeds and the trash. And if there are any other violations, I can add them from the Municipal Code and Violation Library that was uploaded to Comcate during your implementation period. For now, I'll skip that step. Next, I can come down and add an inspection note. This note can be used to describe anything that took place during the inspection that you need to take note of. I can also add photos by clicking the photo icon. I can click Browse File and access a photo on my computer, or I can click the blue camera button and automatically flip on the camera on my device. After I've uploaded my photos, I can click the blue Continue button. And now it's time for me to select what type of notice I'll be issuing. If this is a verbal warning, I can select verbal warning and document that on the case. If I need to issue an actual paper notice of violation, I can choose First Notice of Violation, add any fines that I'd like to add to the case, update my compliance periods. So if the weeds, for example, are on a 30-day compliance period, but the trash is on 14 days, I can document those separately and track them on the same case and take care of them with the same notice issued to the property owner.
Really cool.
Before I complete my inspection, I need to schedule a follow-up inspection date. In this case, I'll do that after 7 days.
We have a question for you.
I'll then click
Councilman
Continue.
Goods-
Oh, gosh.
Oh. Can you answer a question real quick?
Are you referring to me?
Yes.
I forgot the
Yes, of course.
Connor,
so-
okay, Connor, yeah.
So Connor, this is Goodson. So let's say for the weeds and trash, there is a first notice and it sunsets in 10 days. Do you automatically get an alert if you're the person on the case?
Yeah, so what hasn't been shown in this video yet is on the main dashboard when you initially log into Comcate, it's a notification system as well. So it's going to tell you what inspections do you have due on any given day. And it's going to notify that officer by email and text on the inspection day, letting them know they have to get back to this property to make sure that issue is fixed.
I vote yes.
Councilman Johnstone has a quick question too, Connor.
Yes, go ahead.
Is there, and
That's
maybe,
phenomenal.
maybe Ron, you can answer this. Is there a module or some type of community reporting where somebody wants to report a code violation? Do they have to call you and then you guys start this process, or is there like a module that you can integrate, like maybe into our website or something?
So right now, our 311 system that is getting ready to go live, that will talk to us. We're not going to attach it to this module here, but it will tell us. People will be able to report crimes or report code enforcement issues through 311. They'll be able to report it through our website, through our web page. And if they, like to come down to City Hall and hang out, we still have the paper forms that they can report on.
Okay.
Nice, thank you.
Okay.
And they can reach
And
us.
as a note too, depending on that solution, Ronnie, we could talk in the future. We're able to integrate with those 311 solutions as well, so they could automatically go into Comcate if that's up for discussion in the future.
Thank you.
Continue?
Okay, yeah, continue.
And if I have a certified mail number, I can enter that into the case. In this case, I'll skip that step. I can modify my resolution actions that were preloaded up into Comcate during the implementation process. And then I can select who I'd like to issue the letter to. In this case, I'll just be issuing a letter to the property owner, but if I had a property manager or a tenant in the property that I was working with, I could issue multiple letters at once. I then click the blue Generate Notice button, and here we can see a preloaded template of the actual notice of violation that can be printed and sent out directly to the violator. It's pre-addressed, it's addressed with today's date and also with the Comcate Code Enforcement case number, also individual compliant dates and descriptions for each of the cited municipal codes, and an e-signature for my signature as an officer on the case. I'll then click Do Not Print for today's demo. I'll click Issue Notice and Complete Inspection. And that will bring me right back to the Code Enforcement Case Details page. And now I can see fully documented that the notice was issued on March 29th, 2021 by Officer Keeney. Any notes that Officer Keeney took and the actual copy of the letter itself are accessible directly from the case. In Comcate, you have the ability to look up cases that are very old and see a comprehensive view of every activity that's ever been performed on the case. By clicking the View History button, you can see a full log of every action, the date and time it was performed, and a description of what it was performed and by what user. In the expanded view of the case details page, you can also see a comprehensive view of all the abatement activities along with dates that have ever taken place on the case. In this particular example, you can see the case has been created, closed, opened, and reopened many times, and many inspections have been completed. All of the violations, all of the contacts, and all of the photos that have ever been added to the case, along with notes, are all easily accessible to help you maintain compliance and follow your SOPs at your agency. In Comcate, you have the ability to filter by cases that have liens on them and also see the outstanding balances due. Here I've added a column that lists outstanding balance, and we can see all of the lien cases that have outstanding balances and their overdue amount. I can also add a filter to this case listing page for the outstanding balance. And the outstanding balance filter allows me to choose any dollar increment. In this case, I'll just choose overdue and click apply. I can export this information out of Comcate into an Excel sheet and use it as a report in order to use for any court activities that may arise down the road. Comcate also has a robust reports section with 7 templated dashboards and multiple reports loaded into each of those dashboards. This is available to all of our users. Our philosophy is this data can be used to show that code enforcement is focusing on the right things. In the My Stats overview page, we can see the total number of cases, the average response time, and also the number of inspections completed and the activities performed. If I click on the banner above the report, I can sort this by start date and end date so I can cut out custom pieces of time, whether it's a quarter or a month or a year, and I can also filter by staff. We try to make the reports easy to use as possible so the code enforcement officers, supervisors, and managers can export data out at the snap of a finger and provide it to the executive team.
All right, cool.
And I would like to add, in dealing with Comcate and the many conversations we had and the meetings that we had, they never tried to sell me anything that I didn't need. And I think that that's important when you're dealing with a company, that there's different modules that we could have went with and really got fancy with this, and it just wasn't necessary. And I appreciate the honesty and being straightforward and when I'm dealing with a company or a business, especially when we're going to spend city dollars. So,
Any questions from council?
Yes.
Oh, Councilman Goodson's in the queue. I'm sorry.
So I no longer have to contact the county office if I want to find out if a certain property is delinquent on their taxes. I would just punch in the address and it would pull up how much is due.
yeah, that's public record. And the system we have now, Parcel Quest, which will be implemented into this system, has that information. You can find out the entire
Nice.
history on the property.
Yeah, I like this.
Councilman Johnstone.
Thank you. What is the approximate, I know the startup cost, but what is the approximate cost savings that we will see with this program once it's implemented and in service?
Okay, so the implementation fee is $12,907. The annual license fee is $16,307. So the first time investment is $29,214. Then annually, that'll be $16,307 moving on.
Okay.
If the city of Oroville figures out the GIS issue, we won't need to spend the $2,800 a year on the GIS, for GIS. Right now, we don't have it. I need it for my team to be out in the field. So you're looking at $16,307 a year for software costs. And there is, any of the flags, I have 90 days after up to, so the ninth month of doing business, I can cut the program. I have to give them 90 days notice. And there is a 5% accelerator annually.
So what's
Councilman
the
Weber's
cost
in the queue.
savings? So what's the
Yeah.
cost savings?
So what are you currently paying now for the what is it?
Right at $28,000 a year.
So,
Okay.
so this to be clear, it'll be a cost savings for code enforcement on an annual basis, but right now we're paying for a software package that's going to have to
Be paid for?
be paid for as well. So this will be an additional cost.
Additional.
Unless we can somehow work, and again, right now it's not an option if we can do a carve out with our existing software provider, but I know if there's a way to get a reduction, since we're not using a module in there that's not effective for code enforcement, we're going to certainly advocate for that, but at this point in time, it's not an option.
Okay. Councilman Weber's in the queue.
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve this Resolution 9406, authorizing agreement number 3567 with Comcat and the City of Oroville for code enforcement software.
I'll second that, but I do have a follow-up question, just real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
And that was on the software that we have now? So how long do we have to, where we're double paying essentially?
They entered into a 3-year agreement.
Yeah, I believe the issue is like this particular component is also part of our land use package. We need to have the land use package. So unless we pay X dollars for the land use package. There's no way to carve this out of that and recoup those savings. So I'm not terribly optimistic that we'll even be able to. It's essentially going to be a function of the existing software that we're just not going to use because this other software package is such more efficient for them. But there is an added cost.
For them.
All right.
Okay.
But clearly the efficiency is far
It's-
outweighs the cost. Yeah, thank you.
It's a manageable cost.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Can we call the roll?
Motion passes unanimously.
Next item, update on the design process for 655 Cal Oak, new courtyard.
Ooh.
There's a lot of great discussion tonight. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. You know me, you don't know Ty. Ty is the, are you an architect?
New
He's an architect, so much like Marines, he likes crayons.
Oh, wow.
Sorry for that, but I had to. So back in April, this group authorized us to start phase 1 of the Courtyard project, which is a design build contract. We are now nearing the completion of phase 1. After much trial and tribulation, Ty had to go find some as-builts and information from the manufacturer, the building constructors for 655 Cal Oak. It's a different animal a little bit than what we thought it was going to be, and I'll highlight where the challenges are. But if you go to the third page, initially $30,000 was allocated for this. Since then, we needed a topographic survey to get the path of travel for ADA compliance. That has been completed and incorporated into this project. And right now, UBC, United Building Contractors, which is the prime, they're putting together their guaranteed maximum price on the project using the information from Ty and his team and the topo survey. So we're up to $37,500 cost right now. Money well spent as Ty's process to get to where we're at, very involved, very in-depth, and touched all of the blue-collar public works side. So project scope, phase 1, where we're at, where we're nearing completion, and October 7th, we'll bring a contract and a guaranteed maximum price with kind of a menu list of the capabilities that we can get for our 1.75 million that's been authorized. We developed this program using a 20-year growth outlook. So the interviews, the looks that Ty did, forecasted out 20 years. Where is Oroville going to be? Where is your workforce going to be? What do you need? What do you currently have? What do you need? I want to reiterate that this is not a gold-plated project. This is a needs only. Not a nice to have, this is needs. There's no bocce court, there's no
pickleball.
no pickleball court, none of that.
Sauna.
No barbecues. And then phase 2, which will be done over the course of about a year, is the design build. And once you authorize the mayor to sign the contract, that price is the price. If there's cost overruns that are not city caused, that's on the contractor. Okay. This is a site layout. Has anybody been down to the Cal Oak and down there?
Yes.
So this project only deals with the administrative building, the thing that looks like a house, and the shop behind it, which is where we're gonna put our mechanics. That box on the bottom is the source of a lot of consternation and cost eating or cost allocation that we are gonna take out of building A and building B. That is the power feed into the site. We have 1,200 amps going in. We need 600 amps in building B. And we have 150 amps in building B.
Oh.
Okay.
This is the office building. It's kind of an eye chart. Don't spend too much time squinting on it because I'm gonna blow it up right here. Can I hand these out, Brian? Is that okay? It wasn't part of the package, but this will be pertinent for, this is color coded for.
Thank you, sir.
So if you want to come on in, this will be a good time for you. So Ty and his team went through the meeting space, or the administrative building, did a tour of the current courtyard, and identified where we can put folks that are at on Mitchell and where they can go at 655 Cal Oak.
Take it away.
We had great feedback from.
Councilman Reynolds has a quick question. Yeah.
I'm looking at this, and it looks like areas 5 and 14 are both meeting rooms. Is 5 existing, or is that an addition?
5 is existing.
Oh, it is. So this is all existing square footage. You're just trying to utilize what you have? Is that why we have 2
This
meeting
slide right
areas?
here, the office building on the west, so go back one more. The far left side is new.
The existing building is roughly 3,300
Okay.
square feet, and we're proposing a modest addition of about 1,500 square feet to the west.
I'm just wondering why 2 meeting rooms?
That was a direct request from Public Works, that they could use meeting room space A, the existing garage feature to the right, and needed overflow meeting space to the left. It could also be used as break room, more informal space. It adjoins proximity to the locker rooms.
I mean, do we really have that many meetings at the same time?
We do have several, and right now we don't have any particular spot that can accommodate all 40 roughly staff. And so I know that, I mean, it appears that those meeting rooms are both really big, but they're really not.
Yeah, I'm looking at the square footage. I'm just wondering, it just seems like a exorbitant. It seems like a pretty what's the word I'm looking for? It's elaborate, to have 2 meeting rooms. That's big stuff.
I anticipate there will be more than just meetings occurring in that room.
What do you anticipate?
I mean, any trainings, we had CPR training. We usually have to go to PD's conference room, but we're not sure what the future of that room is as well. It could become offices. We're not sure. So the idea was we wanted to anticipate 20-year potential need. So if they have to become offices, they can. There's been talk about maybe partitioning off one of the meeting rooms to be able to hold 2 meetings at once. I think this gives us some options.
It's designed to be a flexible space with that growth in mind.
It's nice to have options.
And Councilman Reynolds, I know in speaking with, and just so you guys know, as you go through this, we've had two, one larger meeting, but a couple of other meetings internally about the best use of the space once it's done. Obviously, parks, streets, sewer. What am I missing? Fleet, trees. I mean, there's a lot of folks that are going to be housed in this. But I will say that right now, the sewer team meets on a daily basis, and the streets and parks team meets on a daily basis. That would be at least one use for those on a daily basis where they have their various meetings. I think at the beginning of the shift and end of shift.
Generally, yes, it just depends. Typically in the mornings, but yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
But we've worked closely with the departments and city staff to identify those needs and program it out for the next 20 years. We've also proposed modest improvements to the existing metal building, which is to the rear, taking some undocumented or unverified structures and improving them into a mud room, a quasi-ante room for dirty materials and various tools and gear. Also overflow multi-user restrooms and a shower facility. It's much needed for all of those services proximate to the mechanic shop.
Yep.
But as Tim touched on, the biggest discovery through the existing building verification process was just insufficient power to this building. It's being backfed from the existing residential structure toward the front. And so we need to be able to chase new power to power all the equipment that's in there.
And the mechanic space is not conditioned right now. So we'll have to put in, we gotta insulate it, and we're gonna have to put in some air handlers in there. This sheet right here is color corresponding to the sheet I handed out. I think it makes it a little bit easier to see what we've envisioned and where we're gonna put folks.
And this kind of gives you a peek behind the curtain of how the process started. I mean, we did existing needs assessment. We went out to Mitchell to see what the facilities are. This is a needed improvement. We identified all of the functions that they wanted to house in the space. We allocated specific space to those functions based on just industry knowledge and our own understanding of those uses. And then we translated that into the diagrammatic plan that you have before you that's in color. We've already developed more robust schematic design documents that our contracting partner has in hand and is currently pricing.
Are there any questions from the council?
I do.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, of this infrastructure internally in the building, how much of it's existing? Because plumbing is obviously real expensive, kitchens.
Absolutely.
So is some of this pre-existing?
Yes, much of it's pre-existing in the 3,300 square feet. And we purposefully, we went through a design analysis and realized when we encountered the insufficient power to the back building that we were gonna have to recalibrate around cost to make the budget work. And so we took a modest approach at redesigning the facility to maximize existing plumbing locations. So the break room and the casework and the plumbing fixtures are where they were. The women's locker room is where there's an existing shower. So we tried to minimize any trenching or plumbing work that would need to be done in that existing footprint. We have a little bit more flexibility in the addition.
And this building is fully fire sprinkled, so you can do all these modifications without any problems, basically.
Yeah.
That's-
And we need to add fire sprinklers to the addition. Actually, that's why there's a little awkward alcove on Plan South on the screen right now, is to preserve the existing fire riser location that's on the exterior of the building.
I think it looks great myself. One of the things that's kind of an overall issue is, have we named the facility yet.
I don't think we have.
Well, I'm just suggesting that we call it City of Oroville Cal Oak Yard, because it's kind of descriptive, and I don't know if staff has come up with any names, but I'd be encouraged to hear what they want to call it, because Cal Oak Yard is simple, because you know where it is, you know? I hate to use any other names, but I'm just visiting a sign that says that down the line, something like that, so. Okay, Councilman Goodson.
It's really catchy and unique.
Well, I'm just trying to get down there. I mean, right now, we don't, well, I mean, what do we call the place, you know? We gotta call it something, yeah.
Cal Oak Courtyard.
There you go, yeah. I just like to add Orville, because then people don't know where it is. I'm just somewhere in the world.
I think announcing itself is important. If we could go back a few slides, I don't know if I still have control,
You do.
to the overall site plan.
Yeah.
You have to put it in presentation mode. Cal.
There we go. As a departure from the existing facilities on Mitchell, this has a nice public-facing
Yes,
component
it
to
does.
it.
Yes, it does.
You know, where the existing parking is, a modest reorientation of the existing fencing and vehicular gates. Now we have public access from the street and parking for all the functions that it needs to.
And I know it's a change too for Public Works, because there's really never been any public to the old yard on Mitchell Avenue. But with this one, then we now have a lobby for receptionists. Do we plan to have, or is there a thought pattern to have a receptionist actually there? A staff person? Just because, I mean, we've never had, you know, I'm going down to Public Works. Well, what does that mean? You know, now we actually have a place for them to be. And just like you say, it's a very, very good presentation to the public customer service, so.
Well, especially with that 20-year growth in mind.
Right.
Whether there's an existing staff member identified or somebody can use that as a quasi workspace and greeter, it just offers that flexibility.
Councilman Reynolds has a question.
All right. So you're saying that this, the way it's laid out for me, to the left, this is all going to be an addition, so that's not here right now? 14, 13, 3, 15, and 12?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, it-
38.2
All
feet,
right.
38 feet, 2 inches to the
So
left.
5 and the other area, the main area here is all there now?
Correct.
Is there any way that we can get a tour or field trip? Because a lot of us have never been there, and I personally would like to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can,
Great thing.
can we set that up? That'd be great. Thank you.
My only other question is I know it's down the line, but is there plans for a fuel station or a fuel delivery system?
It's not a part of this phase, but
Right.
that has been identified and talked
So
about.
it's down the okay, all right. And I could see having the electric service working properly, and then that'll also be something for a fuel station to have.
Part of my
Yeah.
efforts before seeing the electrical issue was if there was enough money to move that
Right.
down,
Right.
I was going to try to do that.
Yeah, okay, cool. When's it gonna be done? Next year? I got it for that one.
Yeah. I am, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
he's-
Councilman Goodson, go
He's
ahead.
not acknowledging me. So why do I have a concern? I personally would like to, this ought to be folks should have some type of security clearance. I'm not real happy about the reception idea and somebody just coming in off the street or what have you. I mean, this is,
Bulletproof glass or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that she's,
we should
basically
proceed.
they're asking for something to address the reception area to be safe and secure for
It-
staff.
well, for anybody that just can walk in off the street and wander through, what is this security clearance? What do we have now in place? Isn't there a code?
At the current courtyard, it's all behind a fence.
It's being, well,
I
it
mean,
is
you can-
behind the fence,
And,
right?
and you could walk you could walk right through the gate right now
During the daytime.
during the
During the
daytime.
daytime. In the
At the nighttime, it's closed.
No, but Councilwoman Goodson, there's going to be I'm not sure, I can't see the office that's designed there, but correct me if I'm wrong, it would be a spot where we very likely would have an administrative assistant sit there and obviously greet people that come in. You know, currently, there's not
Do we have a
terribly,
lot of traffic?
there's not a lot of foot traffic for Public Works currently. I mean, obviously for the primary traffic here, a lot of the traffic here is for planning, building, engineering, plan check, code enforcement. I mean, that's probably our most traffic that comes here.
But it gives a pointed destination.
Absolutely.
There at the front of the building that's very intuitive
Because
to
it is a
find.
vast property and you, okay.
We will, you can't get to the rest of the area planned south. It's gonna be behind fences.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, and I want to add too, right now, I mean, we don't have a Public Works that's a front, like you know,
Reception.
yes, exactly. We have front office staff that are primarily community development staff. And when there's a question that comes up for engineering, the engineers will go to the front desk. And if, you know, if people need to get a hold of someone from Public Works, then there's a meeting generally that's scheduled. And so this reception person, you know, I don't see a lot of just people, like you're saying, coming in off the street. To me, it's more like they know that there's going to be a meeting held with either consultants or, you know, whoever it might be, for upcoming meetings, and they would be welcoming them and showing them like where to go.
Thank you.
Okay.
You will see on October 7th, a guaranteed maximum price with what we're gonna get down here.
Excellent.
And
Okay.
the companion schematic design set that goes along with that.
Vice Mayor Smith is in the
The
queue.
box of consternation. So you said it had 1,200 amps in it, the transformer out there in the corner? How many feet is it from the building?
I don't have that figure off the top of my head.
It's a couple hundred
It's
feet.
a ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but you need only 600 amps into the main facility in the shop.
And luckily, we don't have to backfeed it from the existing residential style building. We can go direct to the shop.
Okay, cool.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. Councilman Reynolds is in the queue.
Thank you, sir. Because I wasn't here when all of this started, I'm trying to play catch-up, but how is this being funded again? How?
The infill work was 25% of this is being funded with sewer fund because the sewer's gonna be out there, and the other, roughly there's 2 million, and I know there's been a couple $100,000, or not a couple hundred, but there's been some money that has been spent. I can get you that if you'd like, but it's, the other portion is fiscal recovery dollars that the city received.
Okay, because I would like to, and I know that everyone has thought of this, but I'm playing catch-up. This is a beautiful building, it's a beautiful project. But we also have a city hall here that this building is actually going to be nicer than, and this is our front door to the city. So we need to keep in mind how we're going to fund remodeling this building, because this is nicer than this. And we've done some work inside here, but we do have a lobby that hasn't really.
Yeah, we just actually spoke about that either last week or earlier this week. They blend together, but we had a project for the front area there, and there's two parts that absolutely need to be redone here, and that's the bathrooms on that side and also the lobby area. So there's no question. There was some discussions about restructuring the planning and building department, but we're revisiting that now to try to save dollars. But yeah, the front counter area and the restrooms here are gonna definitely be in the works.
In the works, so they're on your radar in the near future?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Near future to you is?
I think it's.
He's trying to pinpoint.
Yeah, it's actually in the budget.
Yeah.
It is?
So, yeah, absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Again, I'm trying to catch up.
No, that's okay.
Thank you.
It was a
for-
much larger project, but we think we're gonna scale it down a little bit. But the front counter reception area for security issues and for
Great.
just more of streamlining the workflow, and the restrooms were two areas that we all, I think, unanimously said those absolutely need to be upgraded.
I mean, it's 100 times better when I first came in here. This used to be the nicest room in the building, and you guys have done a lot of work since I was here last couple of years, but again, it's, a lot of it's cosmetic, and, you know, we could use a little facelift on
Yep,
the front, too.
absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Maybe as part of the tour, we can take a look at the existing conditions as well at our current courtyard, and that might help also.
Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, appreciate that.
Good job.
Like the colored pictures.
It helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
All right, item number 13,
motion.
okay. It's to request to purchase a table. Oh, do you?
And you should probably recuse yourself.
Yep.
Do I have to say why?
You're a member of. Well, no.
I talk.
Are you the president?
I am the president.
Okay.
All right, there's that.
Okay. So item number 13 is the sponsorship request to purchase a table for the 5th annual NAACP dinner.
Make a motion that we approve the purchase of table $750.
I'll second.
Call the roll, please. All right, bring her back in.
Motion passes, 6 yeses, 1 recusal.
We have another public communication hearing of non-agenda. Do we have any other cards?
None received.
None received. Future agenda items, folks, any?
Okay, wait.
You have one? Oh, Councilman Weber's up.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. On the heels of the conversation that we had earlier about the possible zoning for a healthcare and related services that was suggested by the planning commissioner, I think that would be wise for us to explore that, to explore a healthcare and related services zone. Maybe we could have staff look at this and bring it back to us, say within 6 months, and then I was kind of hoping that Mr. Ritchie would help clarify maybe how that could look.
It's a medical
Sure.
center?
So there's a
Medical
lot
center?
of flexibility. There's a broad range of how you can implement this kind of thing, depending on how specialized you want this to be. Typical approaches in California cities have included like a medical services district, which is pretty broad. Healthcare is another way of describing a healthcare, a C zone, medical campus zone, if you're talking about like just collecting them into one sort of larger parcel.
I like that.
That's pretty common in an area where you're converting open land into a healthcare campus. It's not as common in an already built community. Health and wellness overlay zones is another way of doing it inside of a business zone. Or if you wanted to include offices, you could also include it as like a medical professional zone or a health and wellness zone. That would include things like counseling or therapy buildings. But what you want to do, make sure that you are capturing the variety of different things you want to qualify for zoning, and then you can include different levels of impact inside the zone. Like low impact would be things like outpatient or an optometrist office or a medical office, whereas maybe a medium impact might require a little bit more work from a permitting perspective as opposed to a by right type of thing. That would include like a 24-hour urgent care type of thing,
Yeah.
or that you have hospitals, so you wouldn't be doing that necessarily. Rehab and residential care can be those more moderate impact type of situations as well. So I think what you're asking for is staff to bring you back a range of ideas that include broadly covering medical services zoning with a couple of different impact levels included depending on what they are, and bring that forward for your consideration. I don't know if you want that like as a discussion item before we take it over to planning, but that's typically how California cities will do that.
I'll be the second on that.
Maybe it goes from staff to planning.
Yeah,
That way.
range of it's
Because I'm
appropriate to
sure
take it
they've
through
thought about it.
planning.
Yeah.
They've already discussed it.
That's a
Yeah.
good
Now,
idea.
for recommended zoning changes, there is a 20-day notice period as well, so, we have that, got to build all that into it. If you'd like a preview, we could probably put it into the executive committee as well.
Okay.
And would that include some type of restriction? I know that they don't have restrictions now for a treatment facility next to a school. I can't fathom that, but we could interject language.
So part of this would be an analysis of what is in your existing municipal code and any kind of proximity restrictions that you have for these kinds of services to other types of services in the existing code. It's also, I will note for you that a lot of different kinds of medical services like medical offices are contained within your professional office zoning definition. So we'd have to look broadly
Okay,
at tweaking
broadly.
the definitions to make it all fit together friendly and not have conflicts
Okay.
within the code, but that would
I
be part of
got
that
you.
process.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll put that on the look forward to. All right.
I have one more.
Sure, please, go
Yeah,
ahead.
and another future agenda item that I would like to look at is rezoning, how we would look at how our trash is handled at different apartments. I know that there's a certain number of apartments that have to qualify for a trash enclosure, but I know that there's a lot of apartments throughout, at least my district, and I'm sure that there are others that, that they affect the quality of life for people around them because of too many trash cans. And so I would like to look at how we could remedy that as well.
So I'll have Brian pass that along to planning, or maybe also code enforcement for that kind of thing,
Okay.
because of the health and safety issues associated with that.
Yep.
Okay. Anyone else? Not hearing any correspondence we have in our packets for the report from the Public Works and the Business Assistants and the Fire Department? Any questions on those? If none, then right now I will adjourn the meeting for the next regular meeting, October 7th, 2025 at 4 PM. Thank you all.